Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So guys, it's been one eventful day. I mean, like what's been going on with Hasbro? Hasbro's doing some crazy things. I mean, yeah, I know it's Yojo June. I understand that. I get that. But to start off Yojo June by dropping pre-orders on people, especially the exclusive pre-orders, on the same freaking day, giving a lot of people only a few hours to even understand what's going on. I think that was a bit kind of weird. And you know what? What happened out of that? The Arctic bat completely sold out on Hasbro Pulse. The Crimson Guard Python Patrol figure completely sold out. Now you can only get that one along with Tiger Force Dusty on Target.com. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what's going on over at Hasbro. They could have at least given us a heads up on social media. You know, give us some tips and just drop some hints even. Like something needs to be done about this. I don't think it was particularly good form for them to do something along those lines. It was just a very weird day entirely. But I got a message from while I was doing a live stream earlier this afternoon. I got a message from my good friend Jeffrey over at Lyle's Figure Files. And if you remember, we had this discussion about clearance deals. Okay, it was this huge discussion we had about sometimes, you know what, these figures, you get them out early and people, it's the fear of missing out, and people are just like, throwing money at these companies, right? But inevitably, if they become Target exclusives or something like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see, like, wait long enough and you play the waiting game for the clearance game. And all of a sudden, these things start to clearance out, and sometimes in a very, very big way. That works for a lot of Americans. Americans, you guys have it good. Okay, you guys have it really good. For the rest of us, the other parts of the world, your neighbors to the north, for example, we don't get clearances. It just doesn't happen. And when it does, we are freaking jumping for joy. It is like it's like Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, everything come at once, because literally we do not get any sort of clearances. 50% off would be incredible. So we're actually happy with like 30% off. But when you get 50% off, we're like ecstatic. And then if you get something like 60, 70, 80% off, we're like, what the heck is going on? Something is wrong, right? And that starts to bring up the red flags. And of course, we've talked a lot about that here on the channel with other guests like Scott Knightlick and everybody. But especially here in Canada, it really is an interesting situation when we do get clearances. And sometimes, every so often, something strange will happen. Some of you guys might remember some of the crazy finds that I found less than $2 here in Canada. And yeah, it just blew my mind. And I wanted to bring somebody in who recently had a crazy experience doing some toy hunting and found something absolutely mind-blowing, just absolutely ridiculous. And I think you guys are gonna lose your minds when you see exactly what happened. So I want to bring in my good friend from one of my hunter groups, Mauricio. Mauricio, how are you tonight, my friend?
Jay, I am doing great. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh no, it's my pleasure, my friend.
Let me just add,
Sure.
not to get too off topic here, but over the last few years, I've just been looking at my collection earlier today, and I thought to myself, what an exciting time it is to be collecting figures and all that stuff. I mean, the stuff that's been coming out, the quality, the articulation, the likeness of the characters, it just blows my mind. And imagine having that kind of stuff back when we were kids, like in the 80s and 90s. Like, it looks so good now. And it's even doing justice to the figures that really aren't that popular, because you still have to appreciate the quality that went into producing them, right?
Absolutely. And but here's what, let's this is going to be just an open topic for us, because I haven't seen Mauricio in such a while. I think the last time we saw each other was like 2 years ago.
So you picked up, you got Grayskull for me.
Yeah, I got Grayskull for you.
There you go.
Like a whole bunch
right
of time.
There, right there.
You got these, right? It's right there. But so it's great to have you back, to see you again, Mauricio. Now, here's something that astounds me. Okay, this is what astounds me.
Okay.
Yes, you were absolutely right. 100%. Having the articulation, having the sculpt, the faces, the photo reels. Being a collector of action figures and toys in general right now is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, before we had to sort of imagine what these characters were actually supposed to look like, right? I mean, if you look at some of the retro collection that's being released right now from Hasbro, right, for Kenner Star Wars, right? You sort of look at that and you're like, yeah, this is kind of what we were collecting back when Star Wars was back in 88 and sorry, 82, 83. But it's still not nearly as bad as those sculpts. And those sculpts were really, really bad,
Yeah.
right? And it sort of blows my mind because now we've had actually a few years now where companies like McFarlane and companies like Hasbro and Mattel and all these other companies have sort of gotten better at what they're doing with sculpting, with the Four Horsemen. You know, they were doing some great work trying to bring everything up to more of a a collector worthy type of action figure.
For sure.
But now that we've been in this type of place for like a little bit over 10 years now, it amazes me. It amazes me that there are people out there who are literally taking their action figures and saying, "Oh my God, this is terrible. The paint is almost a tiny bit off on her belt. Oh, how could they get away with this? Oh my God, somebody should be fired. The face here. Oh my gosh, it looks like a troll. It looks
maybe
like
that's why they did the windowless boxing, just so it's like, you bought it, you just get out of here now."
We're gonna go down those rabbit holes, right? Like that's the problem with that, right? Like where does it begin? Where does it end? People are not satisfied. I often look at the toys of yesteryear, and I have such a fondness for them. You know what I mean? And when I look at He-Man and the Master Universe, I'm like, God damn, those things were pretty good. You know, the faces were pretty damn well, pretty damn well sculpted. You know, the muscle structure, everything. It was a lot of fun. But then you look at like the 3 3/4 figures like G.I. Joes and Star Wars and Indiana Jones. You're like, what the heck happened there? like, did they even put any effort into these 3 3/4 inch figures? Mask figures too. They were even smaller, and there was like no detail in the faces. There was no deal in anything. And then you have these freaking collectors now. It's like, oh, this paint is off by a millimeter. Oh, this thing's terrible. And it just completely blows my mind. You know what I mean? I for one am just so grateful that we live in an age where everything looks so amazing. Mm-hmm. I want everything, right? And that's the problem with being a collector. You end up wanting everything.
I mean, I've been waiting 30 years, 25 years to get a decent Wolverine sculpt. I figure that like he's my favorite hero, and they never did him justice until like the last few years. Finally, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, I think the other thing is that the proliferation of movies and popular culture, like comic book movies, for example, has really just made everything explode. Mm-hmm. Right, because like Marvel is like the biggest thing right now, and coming up behind that is DC, right? Being accepted into the mainstream has become a big thing for a lot of these properties, and because of that, a lot of people who weren't collectors, right, are now collectors, right? And because of that, now people are actually more critical in the way they consume their products. But, and here's something I want to bring up with you right now, since I have you here. You and I have been collecting. You've been collecting a little bit longer than I have, for sure. Because I just got back into it after the pandemic. Just into the pandemic, I really got hardcore again. Right. But just prior to the pandemic, prices were what I would have considered to be normal, right around that time. If I'm not mistaken, and you can probably remember this, I think we've had like 4 or almost 5 different price hikes in that time for Marvel Legends. For not so much for DC, but definitely for Star Wars, Marvel Legends, and a whole bunch of different collector lines. How has this affected your collecting, Mauricio? Do you find yourself being more selective now, or do you still find yourself buying more toys than ever? Like, what's your take on that?
No, absolutely. I definitely need to be. It's a couple of things. I need to be more selective for sure. And earlier, where you were talking about waiting for clearance and sales and things like that, it's just a strategy you kind of have to. I know it's a bit of a rolling the dice, but you pick up your chasers. If you're collecting waves and you still want to build those Build-A-Figures, get there 1 or 2 that you by now. If you've been doing this for a while, which ones, or at least make that prediction. It's going to be the White Queen. It's going to be Beast. Whatever that wave strong characters are, and there's so much. I think also over the years now there's more abundance. Like character figures, even rare ones, are just easier to get for the most part, and everybody has them. Like, you know, now you're getting like Winners getting them, and just these stores that just would never carry them. It's like, oh, there's the odd Black Widow figure that I needed for the wave for $20. I wouldn't like go ahead and say you should depend on that strategy as your primary strategy, but you have so many options now and you get to be creative. So what I usually do is, yes, I've had to be selective. And second of all, also, I guess it maybe kind of falls under the category of being selective is just learn to let go of certain things. And I can't keep up because there's just so much coming out. I think it just got to the point where everything just overlapped each other and everyone wanted a piece of the pie. And especially with, you know, McFarlane, you were saying like he's now into this and he really wasn't that strong as much. But once he took over the DC brand, that's it. He's like Batman galore for everybody. So there's a lot of competition and less shelf space to just be able to just collect everything. And also with the price point as well, that keeps going up. And I also want to add I know it's easy to say, you know, shame on you, Hasbro, for, you know, keep raising the prices, or shame on you this. There's inflation everywhere, okay? Like my bananas at the supermarket are more expensive now, but it's, you know, it just comes with everything. You want to complain about something, look at the housing market if you want to talk about inflation on something, 100%, right? Yeah. Like toys is not, they're just part of it, right? But I think that we feel the need to look at that as like, well, that's why it's also, it's just, there's so much, it's hard to keep up. It would be nice if I just did X-Men, but I've got X-Men, I've got Ninja Turtles, I've got Power Rangers, I've got Star Wars, I've got Masters of the Universe. I can keep going because you almost feel like you're like a network that wants to like have all these shows in action figure form that you grew up with, because you love each one for a different reason, and they make you feel something different and you connect in a different way with them. And there's the nostalgia, and I love just, you know, like I respect, you know, the collectors who want the original stuff, like from the 80s, they want their He-Man stuff. But I just love the articulation they added. Like, I love that you can put He-Man and bend his elbow and, you know, just, and I didn't know this, Jay, until recently. Battle Cat's tail, the original, was attached to his leg. Like, it was just one solid mold. Like, you could hang it like a Christmas ornament on your tree. It was just, that's so weird, right? So they've come a long way, keeping that nostalgia, but also giving you something fresh and new and modern at the same time. So yeah, I've just had to just be selective, and sometimes I let go of things, but that's even challenging for me to do now because it's a buyer's market and selling is very difficult. I can't move what I moved 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Forget it. It has to be dirt cheap. Like you're talking $5 to $10 for, you know, $35 figures or whatever. And then maybe
100%. And you know what? Let's talk about that then, because so often there are many collectors in this community who feel that you should never, ever, on penalty of death, you know, sell your collection, because at least not for the original sticker price. And you know, that scratches I scratch my head by that notion, you know. And I've had discussions with people, sometimes borderline arguments, right, where I'm like, that's not really fair. You know what I mean? That's like it's not fair to say something like that, in my opinion. This is again just my opinion.
Are you saying that when you're saying they shouldn't be charging less than what the retail value, or they should be charging? What do they have the problem with?
Okay, so let me paint the picture for you. Okay, let me paint the picture for you. All right, so let's say Zodak here, right? Or let's just put this together. Or you know what? Let's try Serpentor over here.
Right? You had me with Zodak. I'm committed. Let's do Zodak.
Right, let's do Zodak. I picked that. What did you and I pick that up for? $14.99.
Yeah.
Right, $14.99 Canadian. Okay, which was on par with the US price at the time. Right, $14.99. That was mind blowing at the time. Right. Again, now we talk about what happened during the pandemic. Literally a year later, a price hike happened. It moved up to $18.99 for us, right, for this figure. Okay. So some people's rationale is, well, you shouldn't be charging $18.99 for that, right? If you're going to sell that after the fact, right? You should keep it down to $14.99 because that's what you paid for, right? And then logically you think, okay, well, fine, I did buy it at $14.99, but it's $18.99 now, right? And that's what people are buying it for, and I have it, right? You want it, I have it. So I just happen to have an extra, so you can have it for $18.99. And people are like, no, that's scalping, and I'm like, no, that's not scalping. That is market value. That is what the market is willing to pay. And then people are like, oh, doing deals between collectors, fine. We'll let that pass. But you should never sell on eBay because eBay is evil, right? And I'm like, that doesn't make sense either, right? Because okay, so here's and let me tell you my take on eBay, right? So my take on eBay is this, and this is my overall take on a lot of things. If you get this guy, okay, let's just say it. If you get this guy, and well, you know what? Now let's move on. Now let's move on to Serpentor for a second, because this is a little bit a better example. So Serpentor, it was $80 US, right?
Mm-hmm.
So about $120 Canadian at the time. Okay, so I picked up two of these guys, right? And one to keep, one to collect, one to keep in box, right? Just like every other collector, right? Actually, the rule of three, right? One to keep in box, one to open, and one for later on. So let's just say hypothetically, because I still have the other one. Let's say hypothetically I want to sell it now, right? Well, going on Action Figure 411, we look it up. The figure is actively selling right now on eBay for a little over $130, maybe $150 US, right? I'm just pulling numbers out of my head, right? Yep. So Canadian, that would be close to 180, right? Somewhere around there. Okay. A lot of people are saying, no, you can't do that, right? There are a lot of collectors who say, no, you shouldn't sell it on eBay for that much. And then my rationale is this. My rationale has always been this. Okay, if I bought this when it first came out, right, and it got to my door from Hasbro Pulse, and I spent $80 US, $120 Canadian, and I immediately went to eBay and said, buy it now for $200. Immediately I'd be like, dude, that's not fair. That's ridiculous. Like, it just came out, right? Like, I get it. You pay for taxes, you pay for shipping, be ethical about that. That, in my opinion, the way I like to do things as being an ethical seller. Again, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I'm saying, if you want to be a truly ethical seller on eBay, grab the figure, okay, put it on eBay, put what you feel you want to sell it for. Right? What you feel is correct. And then let's go ahead and say $130 because you paid for shipping, it took a long time, whatever you feel, right? And then I would personally put it on what's it called? I would put it as an auction. Okay? And why do I put it as an auction? I put it as an auction because once I put it as an auction at the price that I would like to at least get my money back, right? Anything that happens after that is no longer in my control. If the market decides that, oh shit, I really need this, and then the first person comes in, okay, I'll match your 130. Then the next person comes in and says, oh, I really need this. I'm going to go for 140, and then 150, 160, 170, 180, 200. That's the market talking. That's not me putting it out there for $200. It bid up to $200. That's ethical. Okay, that's my take on that. Now, people are going to say, well, what about Kijiji? And I'll say, that's where you have to be a good negotiator. Okay, because Mauricio, I think you've gotten into a couple of deals yourself. Mm-hmm. Probably everyone has. When you're in Kijiji and you're talking to another party, we're talking about two different people here. The guys put it up on like the display cabinets I have, right? The ones that were there. Dude put it on there for like $500, right? I was like, okay, this thing's gorgeous. I know it's actually $2,000 for this glass display cabinet. I know that. So $500 is steal. But let me tell you something. The damn thing can't fit my car. I've got to rent a truck. I've got to take the day off. I've got to go, to Etobicoke, right? And I've got to get this thing. But I can't do it myself. I had to get Jimmy. I had to get Jimmy. I had to get my brother Dex. I had to get a whole bunch of people to help me with this thing. That's manpower, right? So I inconvenienced all these people just to help me get this thing back into my house, right? So that $500 all of a sudden became, in my purview, is $1,500 for all the time and the wages lost. So now I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, all right, you know what? I appreciate the $500, but then I look at the situation too. So I said, "What's going on? Like, well, why are you selling?" I asked him, "Why are you selling for $500?" And he's like, "I just want to get rid of it." I'm like, "Why?" So he says, "Oh, I bought this place to set up my vaping business," and I said, "Okay, because you've dropped it twice. You've dropped it twice in a year." And he's like, "Yeah, I just can't get rid of it. Nobody wants it." So I'm like, "All right, I'll take it off your hands, but would you be okay with 400?" And people are losing their minds. They're like, "Oh, it's a $2,000 cabinet. Why would you try to undercut him?" I'm like, "Come on, guys. This is seriously. I'm breaking my back trying to get this thing out of it. I'm doing him a favor. In a lot of ways, my opinion on that is I'm doing him a favor, right? I'm taking this thing out of it. He doesn't want it there. In another 6 months, he's going to have to either put it on the street or he's going to just basically say free. So in a lot of ways, I'm actually helping him. That's my rationale on that level. What kind of experiences have you had selling and buying and selling on? Or first of all, what do you agree with me on this, or am I way off base? I mean, this. I'm happy to discuss. You know what I mean?
What I would say is everybody should just mind their own business. Okay. No, let me put it this way. I know exactly what you're saying, and I know why people feel that way and stuff like that. But here's the thing: we all have control and we all have a choice of what we want to do and what we want to buy. Okay,
it's a choice.
I run into sellers who are selling an action figure for $70. Okay, and I will go to Amazon, look him up. He's in stock, $28, the exact same figure. So first, what I do is I laugh. I'm like, okay, good luck with that. And sometimes I'll message them just for fun. I'm not rude. I'm still polite and likable. And I say, hey, I see you're selling this Hobgoblin. And they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, was it signed by Stan Lee? Or I'm just trying to, poke at them a bit. He's like, no. I'm like, oh, well, how is it different from this one? And then link. Most of the time I get blocked.
Yep, happens a lot.
There's just no response.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get the person saying, oh, right, thanks for pointing that out. I should adjust the price.
Cool.
Not too many, but there are those people that are, from the logical standpoint, to be like, yeah, I'm not going to sell my item. But aside from all that, the point is, if somebody is selling something, first of all, you have a right to sell your stuff for whatever you want. You can sell it for $1. You can sell it for 10 grand. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. Yep.
It doesn't mean that I have to buy it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
If you are putting a figure up that's $70 and it's not worth $70, not even close, I don't buy it. You don't buy it. Nobody buys it. Eventually, the seller's either going to have to just take it down or leave it up there forever to collect virtual dust on the internet, or lower the price. Yep. But if you give in and you give him the stupid $70 and you complain about it to your friends, I had to pay $70 for a Hobgoblin, oh shit, he's on Amazon, that's on you. Okay. And it's the same thing with the gas prices. We all complain every time it goes up, yet people start filling up their cars, and it's as long as there's a demand for it, there's no reason for anybody to lower the price on anything. So if you want to see lower prices out there, just stop buying. And that's actually what's been happening now. People are just, they're struggling financially, just outside of the action figure collecting, or they just have too much and they're just like, okay, I just can't buy everything now. I don't have room for this stuff. It's just overwhelming. I'm sure we've all felt that way at some point. It's like, the figures are just coming over you and you're just like, oh my God, do I really need X Factor? And the two cannonballs I have, one's enough, fine. He comes with extra legs, whatever. But we have a lot more control over it than instead of just complaining and saying you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing it. Let people do what they want to do. That's part of the fun. Yeah. And people also, they're commodities. Okay. It's stocks. It's like real estate. It's things go up and down in value. If I open up a pack of hockey cards and I get Wayne Gretzky, I'm not going to be like, well, I paid $3 for this pack, so I guess I'll sell it to you for $3, because that's what no, that doesn't make any sense. You don't complain there. Somebody's going to put that up on eBay. Oh, they're going to look to see what it's sold for, items sold. They're going to see, and that's it. Now, to conclude, I price my stuff the way with the price that I would want to pay.
Mhm.
So I do a reverse thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, Silver Surfer. Okay, I know I'm not going to get him for retail, so forget that. But I'm not going to pay $100 for him. I think that's too much. I'd pay 60, right?
Sure.
And that's what I offer. They can say no, or they can say 70, and then from there I can decide if I want to, take it or not. But I don't think it's appropriate or polite to complain at people what to do. Just if it bothers you that much, just ignore them.
It's not so much that I'm talking about complaining to your face. I'm just talking about the community in general discouraging every other collector out there. Don't ever sell your collection, right? Or don't you dare sell your collection for over what you bought it for.
No,
it's
ironically, I think it's still same people that will take it later and jack up the price.
No, 100%. I find in my experience that it's the people who will actually do that complain about it because they feel like they got hosed, right? They feel like that. But we're all collectors. We all love this stuff, so we need to have it. And that seems to be the biggest issue that a lot of people are dealing with. It's buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Right. Buyer's remorse seems to be the thing, and that we're going to get into a little bit of that today because there's a lot of in a lot of ways there is a bit of buyer's remorse. Talking about a few of these things that we're gonna discuss tonight. Just before we get started on that topic, though, Mauricio, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Ramos Prime, live stream on a Thursday. Jay, you're being quite daring tonight. This is the time Mauricio and I can get together. So I thought, hey, why not? This is a lot of fun. Besides, a lot of things have been happening today. Frankie Redder, let's go. Yes, good to see you, Frankie. How are you doing tonight? They really should have included a stand with the bubble. You know what? The Trumbull bubble has shocked everybody, right? They've all at a limit of 20 per person. They've made a crap ton of these things. So if you guys, but don't sleep on that though. The thing about these Hasbro, GI Joe figures, it's when you think that you're safe that you're not, right? And then all of a sudden the secondary market, like we're just talking about, some moron already put it up for $100, right? And it's only $55 on right now, and you can buy a ton of them. So again, buyer beware, and just be smart about these things, guys. I love being an American. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Canadians are always shafted, man. No, I'm just kidding. Ramos Prime, dude, what are you talking about, Jay? We here in the States haven't seen Rotons on clearance, and they've been shelf warming like mad. Yeah, but give it time, brother. Give it time. Unlike you guys, who probably come the next refresh season, probably closer to Christmas, those Rotons, if they're still sitting there, they'll be clearanced out. Here in Canada, they don't get clearanced out. They sit there until they get liquidated. Like they basically get removed and then given to like a Winners, which is a discount store here in Canada, or a Dollar Tree. And I have an example of that today, right? So again, and then you have to go hunt, and then you have to go hunting for them again. And there's the problem. They do get discounted, but then you have to end up going hunting, and you really have to have your network in place to actually get the right stuff, right? But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when we can get a $5 figure. I mean, it's gorgeous. Ashman 55, Roton is still at full price in Tucson, Arizona. Ouch. He's still full price here, so you know. Actually, we've never seen Roton. Mauricio, have you ever seen a Roton?
No.
We have never seen Roton. Send them
Maybe
up
I'm
here.
not looking hard enough, but
no, they've never been here. Send them up here, guys. Send them up here. We need them. Rodimus. Also, no one's going to buy those Pride clothes on Pulse. Besides, everyone knows that only Pride that matters is Saiyan Pride. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Rodimus, but anyway, sure, whatever. Ashman 55. I have not been able to find the Burlington He-Man figures either, and not having an Ollie's near me sucks. So this is what I'm trying to say. Apparently, you guys have your discount stores as well are crazy. You can get like $5 or $6 $10 Marvel figures at Ollie's and Burlington Coat Store. You're like getting like $5 and $10 figures there too. It's crazy, right? We basically find figures at like $15 and we're happy. We're ecstatic. I mean, it's crazy. Too bad, Dad. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing tonight? Eric Valdez, what's going on, brother? Rodimus, you're all in it today. I was glad to find a Transmetal 2 Megatron at Target, and they still have the old price scanners at my local Target. Rang up for $49.99. I got it for that. Beautiful. See what I mean? You're catching the deals. Andrew Davis, I never want to sell my collection for fear that one day it's going to happen. I just hope something I want and to do, and not something I have to do. So there's the other thing, and I'm going to circle back. I'm going to star that and circle back to that because I think a lot of people, and I brought this up before, and I'm interested to see what a lot of people are saying. Ashman55, when you factor your shipping and fees, you barely even break even for that Serpentor. It's true. It's true. It's really tough. It really is. Night one. I once sold 28 video games in my collection back 2005, which included a few I still regret selling. LOL. I don't anticipate ever selling any of my toys though. So I had a Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I sold it to a YouTube collector because I was a fan of their channel, and I thought it was a decent price at about $150. You don't want to know what that thing sells for right now. It was complete too with the manual. You do not like. If I think about it, I get sad. Let's put it that way. It's crazy, right? But
We've all been there.
Yeah, but you can't hold on. There's also something about you can't hold on to everything forever, even though we all want to. Frankie Rivera, I hate when they do bidding. And then they can start the bidding at a crazy price. That's a bit different, right? Again, I'm a bit more ethical on that stance, but some people are weird that way, right? But as Maurizio said, it's true. People can sell for whatever they want. You don't have to buy it. Just don't buy it. Night one. I noticed that some resellers will price stuff comparable to what a toy would be with tax and shipping if you bought it for Yes, and that's great. But you also have to take that into that factor and make sure that that's the right price for you. Randy Gazig, what's going on, brother? Thank you again for becoming a Patreon supporter, my friend. You are awesome. Target is great at clearance. The spot is Amazon, deep discounts, Walmart. The idea of clearance is $1 or $2. No Rotons in Arizona. Wow. But again, you guys get those types of deals. Honor Guard DC, what's going on, brother? Runners Prime, King Randor, Origin still have a pre-order on BBTS, guys. Go. He was hot, not even too long ago. He was like double the price. Ashman55, Jay, I do not have Instagram. How can I connect with you to get the Galaxy Shuttle from you? Oh, sorry, brother. If you have Facebook, you can message me on Facebook, Mega J Retro. If you have Twitter, you can sort of try and reach me there. If not, check on my channel. Click on About Us on my channel, and my email address. You can email me from there. All right, and if you just need it, it's J at I'll just put it here. J at geek-crowd.com. Yeah, everyone's welcome to email me. That's my email. So you guys are welcome to email me. All right, we're almost there. Honor Guard DC, Jay, did you get the Trouble Bubble in ordering in? Yes. Well, it's hard not to. They're still available. 20 per person. Not hard to get. So, guys, I encourage everybody to grab that. Ashman55, Ronnie Gazig. Okay, so you guys are talking this. Okay. So, just wanted to circle back to this really quickly, and then we're going to move on.
Should we do the? Let me know when you want to do the Walmart story because we'll do that as well.
Yeah, of course. We're definitely. I already have that all queued up. We're going to talk about all of that, Mauricio. All right. So yes, and Randrew brings up a good point, and I mentioned this a couple of times before. You don't know what people's situations are.
Yeah,
you don't. You cannot judge people on face value. You just can't. For all you know, two people went through a divorce and they need money. Right? They need money to pay for the lawyers. They need money to pay for the paperwork for the house, which they're going to split in half. They need money for the cars, right? You just don't know what people's situations are. Somebody might have gotten in an accident. Somebody's poor kid might have broken his leg. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. And then you have to let go of your collection. And let me ask you this. If that being the case, are you going to let it go for exactly what you paid for? No. You're going to want top dollar for that because you need to get the most money you can to get out of your situation. In some cases, you have no choice. You just got to get rid of it. That's fine. People understand that. That's what estate sales are for. That's what liquidation. That's what people who just want to get rid of their stuff. I get that. When you fall into those circumstances, some people would argue you're taking advantage of people. That's not true. These people need that money. So in that sense, not that I don't want to say you're doing them a favor, but it is helping them. And if you look at it that way, every coin has two sides. You just have to look to find out exactly what you're looking for. Thank you, Andrew. All right. So let's get to the main topic at hand tonight, because this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. So before we get to Mauricio's story, which is just mind blowing, I want to share a couple of things which did happen to me not too long ago. So you guys might remember, those of you who actually who have been watching my channel for some time. A couple of times I did. I was able to find some really cool things. One of those really cool things which I was able to find earlier. It was earlier. It was earlier this year. You can still see the snow on the ground. I went to this place called the Bargain Shark, what used to be known as the Manufacturer's Warehouse. And thanks to the Hunter Group, as well as other people in the community who gave us the heads up on this, they were selling action figures here for way less than what you would expect. As a matter of fact, the whole place is practically a liquidation here at our house. I mean, looking at this stuff here, it was like rock bottom prices. But one thing that really catches your eye, and you can pretty much see them here, is the price for. And I'm just going to fast forward to here. Where did it go? There's the ads, of course. I mean, I love them because they're on my channel, but I hate them because they're interrupting the flow. But yeah, here, if we scan all the way to their toy section, they had some killer prices on toys, specifically the Masters of the Universe. Now, these the ironic thing about this is Terraclaw Skeletor and Flying Fist He-Man never made it to Walmart here. They never made it to Walmart. They never made it to GameStop. And for some crazy reason, they showed up at the discount store for Mauricio, I don't know if you were able to catch this deal.
Yeah, I remember that one.
A whopping $9.99 for the regular figures. Okay? Not that's just single carded figures. But what was even more shocking was right there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
$5.99 for Flying Fist He-Man and Terraclaw Skeletor.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it for that cheap. I saw it like around the $10-12 mark.
Yeah, online. Online. Here's the funny thing. Online, it was selling for $10.
Yeah.
But if you actually drove your way all the way down to Scarborough and went down there, you could potentially have picked it up for $5.99, right? I was there, and thanks to all the communities who gave us the heads up on this. $6 for a deluxe action figure, right? And again, it says it right there. Compare $25.99, right? This is crazy. This is crazy. Now this is something that doesn't happen very often. I mean, Mauricio, how often have you ever seen advertised deals at that low in Canada?
Well, not until lately, to be honest. But it's starting to become a common thing, as you're pointing out. And I think it's just because of just overproduction, maybe. It's just like people are, but I'm noticing though it's not for everything. Like you're still going to Walmart and seeing Fisto and Evil Lyn like from the Origins wave, and they just never go away. But where are the others? Like it seems like that that odd day they'll get that one case of 4 of one of each figure, and then somebody shows up at like 9:30 in the morning, grabs all 4, and that's it. You got to wait like another month or two.
Yeah.
And Origins is unless you have somebody that you can directly buy off of, like a retail guy or whatever. They're hard to just get in the wild.
It's an interesting factor here in Canada where
it's near impossible for me. And
yeah. The distribution in Canada is just absolutely terrible. We've talked on this channel and many other channels. We talked about it forever. Master Universe is a hot property. No matter how many people say it's dying, it is freaking hot as hell. Right now, you're going to get your peg warmers. We already know that. Naked Stratos, what's it called, Fisto, Evil Lyn, who else? All the regulars who basically warm those pegs. What's it called?
The Rammans and the
Lord of Power, Mermans, the Rammans, the Clamp Champs. All those guys stick around, right? But it's when a new wave comes out or older waves that people never picked up, they're gone. They're absolutely gone. As soon as somebody figures out that's there, it's completely sold out.
But why does every store still have that Evil Lyn Fisto wave? Like, was that just like, we're gonna send you 20 cases instead of 1 this time around? It just seems like an overproduction of that specific wave, and I haven't seen it happen before or after with any other waves.
So Stratos was double packed.
Okay.
Stratos was double packed. Same thing with Evil Lyn. Evil Lyn was 2000X. Evil Lyn was also double packed. Sunman is just not that popular. I don't, this is because he's not really part of the Master Universe line, right? That's just what it is. However, his surrogates, right? His Hypno and and some of the other guys that are coming out right now, they're going like gangbusters for whatever reason. They're actually like flying off the shelves, right?
Yeah,
But
Pigman too. He's another
yeah,
one.
yeah, and Duplico. What the heck's going on with Duplico? It's like people are losing their minds with Duplico. I don't even understand. And give it 6 months, he's going to be everywhere. He's going to be literally everywhere. It's going to be ridiculous, right? But for this one in particular, this is absolutely amazing. And but yeah, I totally agree with you, Mauricio. What is actually happening out there? Something else is going on. But it's not just Masters of the Universe in this example either. I mean, looking at the right there, the League of Legends, $4.99 for a deluxe figure, right? And if we go to the Masterverse let's just move over a little bit. Where are we here? Yeah, the Battlefield Warriors, that was a steal at $20.
Yeah, that I ended up picking up. I think that's a beautiful set. And what did it
beautiful.
retail for? Like 59 or something?
$59.99 for this set,
Yeah.
Canada. $59.99 for that thing. That's absolutely horrendous. And if you look just to the left of that, you'll notice that a Masterverse figure, deluxe Masterverse, 2 figures, Orko and Savage He-Man, $9.99. Right? Holy crap. That was an absolute steal. I picked up a few of those for sure.
It's still $50 at Toys R Us right now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's going to be there for a long time.
God. Just ridiculous. I mean, in anticipation of this, I actually did bring them out. Yeah, they're literally right here. You can see, again, this like beautiful packages, right? And the cards are just pristine. Like I just don't understand. Where were these things, Mauricio? Where were these things? I mean, I look at this. Everyone. By the way, this is the one that went out of stock fast. Obviously, for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
Did you pick up one of the Horde Troopers, Mauricio?
I have 2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. Yeah, you were lucky because I made the mistake of not picking up more. Mm-hmm. Right? I picked up 1 Horde Trooper, and that's all I was able to get. Right? But yeah, this was a boom for us. And as a matter of fact, like I said, I also picked up another one of these guys because again, like it was absolutely crazy. Like why wouldn't you pick them up? This thing, as you said, this thing's still going for like $45 at Toys R Us, right?
Yeah.
Like absolutely ludicrous.
Even when it goes on clearance or sale, it's still like 30 something.
Yeah, just nuts. And this thing's been sitting there for 2 years. This is a 2-year-old figure, right? True. You'd think that they would have had the gumption to actually get rid of it by now, but no, they're literally sitting on their hands and waiting for this thing just to, I don't know, to rot away. I don't know what they're doing. and then if we move on just a little bit further, something that I thought was I'm kind of double thinking myself at the time now, but they had this cool Megatron statue, right? And I thought this thing was crazy. $9.99 for this thing.
That's pretty good.
That's freaking crazy. Yeah. And
that's a nice stocking stuffer right there.
Is it the best Megatron in the world? No. Is he a great gift for $9.99? Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously. Like and one of the things about this warehouse, unlike other liquidation places, especially in the US, you guys have Ollie's, you guys have Burlington Coat Star and stuff like that. This stupid store, unless you're going to buy online, it only opens up every 3 months. It's freaking crazy. They only open up for a month and a half. So it's like, why are you even there? Like, why do you have a footprint on a retail location when you're just using it as a warehouse? I don't understand their business model there. Yeah. But when they have some killer
deals.
It's absolutely insane. Just ridiculous. Have you ever? Do you have any other? Because you live out a little bit further west from me.
I'm on the west side of Toronto.
Yeah. Have you found any warehouses that have deals like this, or is it much like the rest of us where you can't find anything?
Yeah, warehouse wise, not so much. It's just your occasional winners, or I really don't do the outlets too much, just because it's more miss than hit for me, at least based on my experience. For me, it's more about like just looking for those figures that are hard to find. That's kind of more what I focus on. I mean, I love a good deal, but the only ones I really find are like at Walmart. They're the ones with the more extreme kind of price drops. Toys R Us, they advertise their sales. They're very, even you're getting the 20% off of a high markup already. So, $29.99 clearance price. It's like, no, that's.
But at least they happen frequently. We know that at least, right? Like you can guarantee every month or so you're going to get a Transformer sale. Every month or so you're going to get a Star Wars sale. At least we know and anticipate something like that.
Yeah, they're a lot more frequent this year. I think last year was a really dry spell for sales and stuff like that. I'm not sure why, but I remember with Toys R Us, it was like 3-4 months apart.
Yeah,
maybe we're like, but I think now maybe also because they have so much stock and inventory, they have to do them more frequently now just to keep the shelves open for the new stuff that keeps coming in.
Absolutely. So I have one more hunt to show. Well, I have a couple more hunts to show everybody because these are kind of interesting. At the dollar, we have what we call Dollarama here, which is basically your everything for a dollar store, similar to the way it is in the U.S. And I got wind of this again from a hunter group. By the way, guys, just so you know, one of the best ways to go hunting, if you're ever looking at hunting for toys, join a community. Right? We're already a community here, but join an actual community where they talk about these types of things, where they go out hunting, they find some stuff. You'd be surprised how often people will just say, "Hey, this thing's on sale for $10. Go!" Right? That's a big thing. So here I was at an actual Dollar Tree, and they had, of course, an ad. Can't get away from the ads. I love the ads, I do, but at the same time, we need to. They have Hot Wheels, they have the regular like no name brand toys and stuff like that. But I didn't realize this. Whenever obviously liquidations can be purchased by anybody, and somebody gave me the heads up that day that and these were really cool too. Do you remember these, Mauricio?
I remember seeing those at the store as well.
Yeah, these are fun, right? I mean, I remember going to the convenience store down the street and just picking. They were never branded. They were just these weird little cheapo toys. They had no branding on. And I remember this one in particular. You basically just take the pull string and it goes like 50 feet up the air. It was so much fun.
I used to love also those styrofoam planes you put together. They're in the long
with a tiny little plastic propeller.
Yes.
Those there are so great. The other thing that caught me off guard here was the cap gun. I didn't even know they sold cap guns in stores anymore. Like that freaked me out. They also had these little G.I. Joe Lego things. That was really fun. But the one thing that, of course, I came here for initially was these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these were actually there, and let's take a look at the price. Here we go. Come on, Wesley. Now, I'm a huge fan of The Princess Bride. Was it a movie that you enjoyed yourself?
It was and I'm torn by it because I see that a lot of people have so much love for it. Like, I mean, I love pop culture. There's so many movies I connect with and watch that. I was trying to narrate the plot to Flight of the Navigator to my 5-year-old, and movie. It was just too much for him, right? It's like, but it's so cool because then he goes back home and it's not his home and his parents are like a lot older and he's not. But Princess Bride, I just I don't know. And I tried giving it a watch a few years ago, and I just I didn't have that connection to it, I guess. Like, so
by today's standards, it definitely is an older, a movie of its age. But if you grew up with it, if you're a kid and you watch it, it's that magical moment. You know what I mean? Of
course, absolutely.
And at the time when McFarlane first put these on the market, they were like, I think it was $22. About $22. Okay. They've raised in price considerably now. I think it's like $25 or $27, $28. But somehow they showed up at Dollarama for $5 each. I couldn't resist. I had to get them all. And these things are freaking immaculate. They had Buttercup. They had the Dread Pirate Roberts. They had Inigo Montoya. They had the main three characters. They did not have Andre the Giant, Fezzik, which is too bad because that would have been nice to be able to get Fezzik. He's huge though, right? But they had all three characters, and for $5 each. Again, you search hard enough, you can find these things. And I gotta tell you, as I show everybody my butt, these things, like if you are an inbox collector, look at the packaging. Like these things literally are immaculate. Like
it's in good shape.
Like it's in great shape. Like there are no dings on the corners. It's just, and again, I'm opening these guys. I don't care, but I'm just saying, for something that you'd expect to find this at a dollar store, you expect to find it half open, like in pieces and shambles.
Yeah,
there's actually This is actually a really good figure. And of course, McFarlane is well known for not having perfect, photoreal sculpts. But for the
Which
most
I'm a
part,
little surprised at, because he's definitely a man of detail, and really pushes the boundaries for just all that extra attention to things like that. But yeah, with the likeness on certain characters, it's still not there, and I don't know why. Because
there's a theory going around that he doesn't want to pay the likeness rates.
interesting. Okay.
It's a loose theory, but it's a theory. So now we come down to the real reason why we're here tonight, because this story is kind of crazy. So Mauricio, why don't you set us up? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you were doing that day, and then as you come to it, I'll start showing some of the pictures. So what were you doing that day, Mauricio? What was going on that day?
Yeah, so I was on my way to my parents, like the good son I am, to have dinner with them on a Sunday. And when I got to their area, I showed up a few minutes early, and I saw a Walmart. So I said, okay, I'll go in, and it's fun. We're collectors. Sometimes we see something, a good deal or whatever. So I went straight to the toy section, and I'm looking around. I'm looking at the Legends. I'm looking at Star Wars, and then I get to the Masterverse stuff. So I see Merman and Tila, and I'm not thinking anything of it. And then I look up, and I see this red ticket, and there's a 2. So I'm thinking, okay, 2 cents? And I think, no, it's $2, right? And then I think to myself, well, hold on. Even $2 is something to further investigate. So I look closely at the tag again, and then I see at the top left, I don't know if you can see it there. Save $34.95 off the price. So I thought to myself, well, this is a big screw up for the guy or girl making labels. But I said, you know what? I should take a Tila and just bring her to the price checker just in case. So I take her, I scan it thinking I'm going to see $34.97. 0.02 was coming up right there on the screen. So once that happens, my heart starts to beat faster. I start getting excited and anxious because I'm like, Maurizio, okay, strategy here. There's 6. You got to get them in your basket. And I learned that a Walmart basket holds exactly 6 Masterverse figures neatly lined up. There you go. So I grabbed them all, and I went to the self-checkout, picked one up, scanned it, 0.02, did that 5 more times, got my credit card. I was charged 2 cents tax, okay? Scanned it, and ended up paying 14 cents for 6 figures, and just walked out with the receipt in my hand. So I was blown away. I'm obviously, once I got out of there, I'm telling my friends and everything what's happening. And then the next day, somebody reaches out to me and say, you should go check other stores. Because I was trying to figure out, why did this happen? Like, I mean, yeah, I'm happy about it, obviously. I don't mean in that kind of sense. But like, what was the statistical, the mechanics of it from the store point of view? Why did they, like, they're clearly putting the label there. So I'm wondering, was somebody just not consciously paying attention to what they were doing because their mind was somewhere else? So anyway, my friend reaches out to me and he says, go check other Walmarts. And I'm like, well, why though? I'm like, it probably is just an internal thing at that store. And they go, no, go. It's happening other places. I said, okay. So I went to another Walmart. It was 7 more figures. But this time there was like Evelyn, the Bat one. There was, I started seeing like more the newer ones. I go, okay, I'll bring her and I'll bring Tila back to the price checker. Scan Tila first, 0.02. Okay. Scanned Evelyn, 0.02. And I had just paid like $35 for like 2 months ago, right? But I grabbed them anyway. And I just was, it got to the point where it started to become like an addiction. It was like, okay, it's just such a rush. I'm like, I just want to hit every Walmart. And I'm not trying to think of how can I financially gain from this, as some might think, oh, he's scheming something. No, it wasn't even about the money anymore. It was just about the fact that I'm paying 2 cents. I'm taking a nickel out of my pocket, a Canadian nickel with the beaver on it, and that's getting me 2 Masterverse action figures, brand new. And that blew my mind. So in total, I ended up picking up about 20 figures in the last couple of days. 40 cents. So they say the tax, 42 cents for what would retail at, well, do the math, 20 times 35. That's over what? $650, $700. So my question to you, Jay, is what happened? Because I don't see how Walmart could benefit from this, but I also don't see that somebody was not aware at one of these freaking stores to say, is this okay? Like, what do you think?
So, a couple of things we do have to cover here. First of all, a couple of things we have to cover here. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people do not know this, and I was shocked to find this out myself. So, guys, take a very close look at this tag. If you notice, it's actually very interesting looking at it. What's wrong with this tag? Now, most people are just going to assume that this tag is printed out for the day, or the week, or the month, right?
Mm-hmm.
These aren't printed tags. These are digital tags. These are little tiny computer screens.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, these are
Interesting.
tiny computer screens. If
Okay.
you look closely, you can actually see the pixels.
Yeah.
Right. So not only, which leads to a bigger question now, because not only did someone not sticker this, but this is a system-wide thing, right? This was actually put in the system, right?
Okay.
And it was actually on the floor. Meaning, okay, first of all, right? I know your heart, right? It's beating like a drum and whatever, right? But you didn't even have to worry about that. It was actually on display. If somebody actually said, you know, where'd you get that, right? If somebody actually stopped you, you could just walk them over and say, it says clearance. There's the other problem with this tag. It actually says clearance. It doesn't say it doesn't say void, or it doesn't say remove, or it doesn't say any of that. It says freaking clearance.
Yeah.
Meaning that this thing is actually up for sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legally. Nothing.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing illegal about anything. It's still in the store. They can't do anything anyway,
Yeah.
right? This is weird. This is a very weird situation. But I will say this, just because we're having an actual discussion. What happened here? It probably was some sort of error.
Okay.
And I've experienced this myself. Just all things being equal, I have experienced this myself. Going back to my experiences. Actually, somebody in the chat actually mentioned it. Yeah, Night One actually said that's like when Mega J got all those Castle Grayskulls. Yeah, actually, it really is. On a day where I keep telling everybody, always scan the price. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Always scan the price. That's
Definitely.
that's a big thing, right? So I can't remember if it was this episode or not, but we'll try and scan. We'll try and see. Of course, another commercial. Yay, love it. But at the same time, I need to know this is a full commercial. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh God, mosquito.
Yeah,
that is disgusting. That is disgusting.
Mosquitoes.
Why would I want to watch? Of course, I'm going to skip that one. Why would I want to watch that? I don't understand these marketing managers sometimes. They literally make no sense to me. Let's see here. Yeah. So at again, these to me. That was another wonderful day. I went to a just between you and me, Mauricio. I went to a Great Value
Village. Yeah.
Yeah, Value Village, and I found a vintage Stridor.
That looks almost complete.
It's missing the tail and the helmet, but yes, it was so close to complete. I still have it. He's $299.
No, for $299. Yeah,
$299. That was one of the best days of my life. Okay, so check this out. So there was a Voyager, but then there was this Cyclonus, and I scanned him in, and boom. That's probably a very similar screen to what you saw.
Yeah, and that's how. What store is this at?
This, I believe, was, thinking back to it now, I think this was Sherway.
Okay, Walmart?
Yeah, Sherway Walmart.
Okay.
I think this was Sherway, right? And the price tag, though, says $36.97, right? So there's something going on. There is something actually physically going on. I don't know how it works. I think some people have been trying to explain to me that these are actually supposed to be removed from the floor or something like that. That's what my understanding is of that. But because they're on the floor, and because as you saw it 2 cents on the tag, they can't stop you. That's it's there for clearance. So there's nothing they can do. As a matter of fact, this scene where where Night One is actually referring to, I got stopped at the door.
How many did you have with you?
I had three. I had three Castle Grayskulls with me, and I got stopped at the door because they were checking. There was a bag checker. She saw I had three, and their policy right now, just so anybody knows, if you don't have a bag, they will check you immediately. But obviously, I can't put Castle Grayskull in the bag, so she ended up stopping me right there and then. I'm gonna see if it's this one. It might. I don't think it was this one. But my point being is this: that they will, it's sorry. She sent me back to the manager, and the manager asked, like, looked at me. Here's the funny thing about this: the manager looked at me and said, because I'd already bought them. I was on the way out, and the question came up, like, what are you doing with these things? And I was like, well, I bought them, right? And obviously she was like, no, something's wrong here. You got to go back. And I was like, why? They're here. They were on sale, right? And she's like, no, you got to go back. So I went back. I went to the manager. And here's the thing, guys. And I will say it this way. This is very important. And please don't argue with the manager. Please don't get mad. Please don't make things difficult. You're not going to get out of that store by yelling and screaming. I'll put it to you. You know what I mean? I don't know, Marisa. Do you feel the same way? Because no one's going to help you if you get pissed off.
Of course.
Like, these are people. Okay,
they're doing their jobs. They don't want to get in trouble. No, I definitely try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and not taking anything personally.
And you wouldn't want to be told that you're a dick or like, I deserve this. You don't want to be told that, right? And these people don't. Again, they are the managers. They don't want to be. They don't want to be not accountable. Sorry, they are just, as Mauricio said, they're just doing their jobs. That's all they're doing. They're trying their best to what's it called? Sorry, they're just doing their jobs. Exactly.
Yeah. No. They gotta look after themselves as well. Yeah. And if they have a manager that's like, why did you let them? Well, because they called me a dick, so I took it personally and I let them. It's like, they're following protocol and everything. And
100%. So this is the actual this is the actual day. I was at a Walmart and found a couple of things which I thought might have been on clearance. Panda Bob here, no, he was full price, right? Yeah. And what else did I have? Did I have anything else? Yeah, I had Evelyn. I was hoping she was on sale, and luckily for me, actually no, she wasn't on sale. I don't think. No. I think she was full price. But at the time, no, she was on sale. She was on sale. Yeah, it was $18.99. She was down $4, so I said, screw it, I'll take her. And then I had this thing, and I found one of them, and I thought, you know what? I can't remember why I was trying to look for it, but somebody needed it, I think. And that's what happened. It came up as crazy. 2 freaking cents.
That's
right?
Crazy.
2 freaking cents. And there were 3 of them on the floor. So I ended up picking up all 3. But and you'll see it right here. Beginning to sweat. Basically, I was having.
I know.
Like, how does I didn't even spell beginning right. But yeah. So I get to the cash register, right? I ring up Evelyn first, right? Oh, by the way, guys, not that I'm trying to condone any of this stuff anyway, but I will say this. If you're going to try doing this, do not go to a cash register. They will immediately claim that and put it to the back. Okay, just so like a public service. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but a public service announcement. Go to the self checkout.
If you were to do that, the right way to do it is
go to the self checkout. Okay,
it's faster, people. It's just a more efficient way to shop. That's all we're saying.
Look at that though, Mauricio, right there.
I know.
Like crazy. my heart was like beating so fast. You have no clue. Like well, you have a clue. You knew.
Yeah. No, I know. I just thought somebody was gonna come, like maybe see my screen or wonder why I need 3 Tilas, like just like you were saying, like why do you need 3 of these? And
look at that. Look at that. 3 Castle Grayskulls, 2 cents each. Yeah. Like just absolute lunacy. So then I proceeded to go out to the front, and yeah, the
Jay, I'm going to be right back. Okay. I'm going to join you back in a second.
Absolutely. And that's what happened. You know, and there's the thing though, as I said, the manager stopped, sorry, not the manager, the person at the door stopped me. They said, this is not right. You should go back. And I did. I went to the manager. I spoke with her, and she was very, very courteous. She was very nice. And she goes, she goes, you got to the cash register? I said, I got to the self-checkout. And I didn't say anything to her, right? I was just waiting for her to make a decision. And the one thing she said to me was, you're very lucky. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, you're very lucky. And I was like, okay, thank you. And yeah, she let me go. But again, at the end of the day, it's their prerogative. Okay, guys. Like, yes, technically you could always argue, this is my property now, I bought it, right? You could do that. You can yell and scream, but why would you do that? I mean, seriously, it's not cool. And now comes the part where, you know, a lot of people are going to ask, like, you know, a whole bunch of questions, and we're going to talk about that when Mauricio gets back. Ashman55, when you factor shipping and fees, you barely break even for the shipment. Yes, this is crazy. Let's see here. I did miss it. Honor Guard DC. Jay, did you get your Trouble Bubble order in? I did. It's still available. You can order it right now, Honor Guard DC. They're still available right now. The only ones that sold out were the Arctic Bat and the Crimson Guard from Python Patrol. So definitely head over there, pick up your Trouble Bubble as soon as you can, because I don't know how much longer it's going to last. New Jurassic Park X Transformers set. I don't know. The Dilophosaurus looks interesting. He does look kind of cool. Not going to deny that. He does look kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm not really into it. Night One, I definitely hear you, Jay. Thank you, Night One. I appreciate that. Andrew Davis. I haven't seen any Rotom on the shelf in New York, but one of my targets did have 125 new Adventure He-Man on the end cap. 125? You mean $1.25? That would be awesome if that was the case. Or do you mean $12.50? Andrew, that's I don't know what you're trying to say there. Ronald Gazig, Bulkhead City, but I used to live in Stratford. Okay. Ashman55, the distributor for all He-Man lines are in Arizona and have sucked for 18 months now. The distribution everywhere is just absolutely terrible. Night One, there's definitely a stack of Rotons here in Walmarts in Michigan, but I'm still waiting to nab one. I've seen 9 so far. Well, if you play that waiting game in that area, I think you might have a chance. If you want to save on that one. Random Zig, a Target Motu Strider was $9. God, I would kill for a $9 Strider. Oh my God. Target does a lot of sales. Wally World in 2018 sold me an Aquaman for $5 brand new. Beautiful. Walmart clearance out the Marvel Legends and Transformers a week up to 75% in 2018. Wow.
Yeah, that was the time when even on Amazon Canada, you were getting like the Legends for $9.99.
Yeah. Yeah, so they overproduced, or people are just not buying it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Random Zig, yeah, Arizona is bad. Jeez, that's crazy. Andrew Davis, speaking of divorce, if you have a collection, she's going to go after it, and if you can't protect it, there was a case where a couple had to separate their Beanie Babies in court in front of everybody. I saw that. That was
I remember that too.
That was ridiculous. That was a stupid day. Mind you, they were probably both in on that deal, but it does hurt more. If one of the two parties is going to be spiteful and just, I don't care about these toys, but I want them. That is really spiteful. That is unfortunate and spiteful. Ashman 55, I do not have the problem. My wife would not want anything to do with my collection. You know what? It's very rare to find a partner who will tolerate your stuff and then actually appreciate your stuff. It actually really is very rare. But you know what? No matter what, they're goddesses for letting you even have them. Yes, Andrew Davis also heard about women going after childhood comic books and baseball cards. Yeah. I know. Let's not focus in on divorce here. That's just crazy. What's up, Kid Chuckle? Got to check out that store. I tried and it was closed. Yeah, it's closed for 3 months open, 3 months closed. Sorry, a month and a half open and then 3 months closed. It's weird. It's just a weird. Oh, really? Okay. Mauricio, we got to go down there. We
Yeah,
gotta
I'll meet you there.
We got to go down there. Night one. I used to get the Battlefield Warrior set, 20 bones. Excellent deal. Yes, that is a really good deal. That is a very, very good deal. Renegade Zig, Aussie's not really west of Texas, so I can't go. Yeah, I don't know. They're not everywhere. Chef M80, Ollie's is a hit and miss. If I wasn't in the stores in the area to begin with, I wouldn't show up at Ollie's. Okay. Well, that's like any liquidation store. That's what it is. Yes, it is the Gray Skull. Exactly the same example. I wish my Walmart was like that. Origin 7 is still a full price. Yeah, I know. Hey, Dave, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. That's Evelyn gets spooked by Scareglow. Yes. Yes, it is. Night one, legendary moment. It was crazy. And Mr. Hormacade, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. My wife talks her junk. My wife talks her junk when she wants about my figure. My wife talks junk when she's wants about my figure, but for the most part, she doesn't care. Yeah, they're gonna like at the end of the day. Someone's always going to take advantage of the idea you love something so much and then basically say, I'm going to destroy this one day when you're gone.
I had to kind of just, allocate a specific room or two just for the toys. And then the rest of the house is toy free, at least
of course. It's also part of being respectful to other people's.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about how the community reacts to these types of things, which is not usually very favorable. When I posted those videos, when I posted the video, I got two types of reaction. Actually, no, I got three types of reactions. The first reaction was the one you would expect, which is, holy crap, what an amazing score. You made out of there like a bat out of hell. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I was lucky. And that's what it was. But you know what? It's also something that you have to be careful, like anything else, right? And like I said, don't fight with the manager, okay? Please. The second reaction I got was that's not supposed to be sold. You should not have taken it, right? So that's the other reaction. It's like you should have left it alone. You're not supposed to buy those things. And I was like, my opinion there was it rang up as 2 cents. I got to the cash register. It rang up. If it wasn't supposed to ring up, it would have said, I've seen this happen before. You ring something in which has a problem. Like if you do, especially with fruit, if you ring up fruit, sometimes it'll just say, please wait for an associate to come help you. Right? There, either something's wrong with it or something's happened. So that didn't happen. It rung up for 2 cents. So I felt it was in my like I felt I was fine to purchase it. So I did. The third one is, and I feel this is just me talking. I feel people are just jealous, and they're like, "How dare you buy that for 2 cents? You SOB." You know what? People can be very, very jealous. The community can be the community, and I totally understand that. I totally get that. And trolls are going to be trolls, and I totally get that too.
Mm-hmm.
But Mauricio, what is your view? You've already heard my view. What are your thoughts on this? Were we okay to do this, or was it something that we really should be thinking twice about it? What are your thoughts?
I think we were okay. Definitely from a legal standpoint, there was nothing wrong. You took the item that was in store. It had an advertised price. You scanned it at that price. You scanned the barcode on the item using their registers. I mean, I could go on and on. There's nothing out of the ordinary going on from our end, and we're following the protocol, and that's it. And that's all there is to it. Now, on Walmart's point of view or any other store that this happens to, it's a good thing that they might see this at the end of the month. And when they look at things and they're like, whoa, why is Masterverse causing us like minus 150% in sales or whatever? Like what happened there? And they can see that there's some bug in the system and they'll fix it. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, it's just a matter of just being organized. Now, if my theory, as I'm saying this and I'm talking about this, is that, and I hope I don't branch off to another topic here, but maybe things are just being automated too much to the point where it's starting to bite them in the butt. Because if it was maybe a human person consciously doing that in the system, then they would maybe know that we have to go there now, take it off the shelf, put it where it needs to go. But this stuff could just be all automated by computers, right? Like just saying, okay, you know, it looks at the data and it's like, all right, we're going to do this, put this, liquidate it to that, whatever. But if no physical person is seeing that happen, and you're telling me now the new information I have that that little price card was digital and it's connected to the server or whatever, that's probably what happened. It's just it automatically did it. Nobody knew about it until, because there actually, I should have mentioned this before, there was one store that I went to that I didn't find any Masterverse. So I went to the store representative there and I asked them, do you have this? And then they told me, they're like, oh, well, we did, but we had to put it in the back this morning because we can't sell it. Because absolutely. I bet you either somebody asked them about the price, like, oh, this is showing up 2 cents, you know, they went to them, or they didn't go to self-checkout and then the cashier, and then they were aware that this is not right. So I don't think any of these stores at that time knew this was going on, because it was probably happening at some, like a, you know, a head office thing or whatever on a computer. Maybe somebody did manually put that in, but nobody was there to make the store managers at the other places aware that this was going on. So it's just a lack of communication, a lack of human involvement in what's going on. And it's just computers being computers. And yeah, there you go. Oh, it's so much more convenient to have a digital price tag. Well, now look what happens. And now you got to make sure that doesn't happen again. So,
and just to further that point, I made a point to do this today because I knew this would come up. So I was at this Walmart a week ago, okay, and I always check the shelf because I'm always hoping that another, I'm always hoping that Clawful will actually show up one day, right? So I made a note to take a photo of this. So the last couple of days when I was there, this said $49.99, but there was nothing there.
Okay.
Today, and this is the same tag. This showed up, and I've never seen that before, right? I have never seen that. Well, I don't even know what that means.
Stars,
right? And that's not, you know, people wouldn't put a sticker. Think about that, right? People would not put a sticker like that, right? That's a digital. That's a digital pad. The other reason I know that these are digital is I was in the soaps. I was in the dishwasher. Where they put the detergent, right? I was in that section, and my eye sort of noticed something that was going on with one of the little tags. It was flashing. I was like, "What the hell?" I wish I actually, you know, being a someone who does this, goes hunting for a thing, you'd think I would have recorded that. But yeah, it was literally flashing, and I was like, "Oh my!" And that's when I realized that at that time that these things are actually digital tags. And I even went so far as to pull it out on the backside, and I really should hold on to these things. On the backside is actually a battery compartment. So yeah, you can actually see that it's not just a tag. It's an actual. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. No, wait. I thought I saw it again. But yeah, you can like, if you actually have an opportunity and you find one on the floor or something like that, pick it up, turn it around, and you'll actually see that it's not a sticker. It's not a sticker.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, Mauricio. I agree with you. Something the system had it in there, but the real problem was it. In my opinion, in my opinion on this, when it says something like this, right? When it says clearance means sale. Clearance means that this is something to be purchased. So, in my opinion, they can't say anything at that point, because this says clearance. And if someone were to question you on this, I would have led them right back here and said, this is for sale, right? And they would have to come up with a really good excuse as to why it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like that's definitely something.
They probably in the policies or something says that they have a right to deny purchases or something, because maybe this isn't the first. Okay, maybe it's happened the first time with Masterverse. Though I've heard somebody tell me that this isn't the first time. I mean, okay, you showed us like, yeah, it happened with the Grayskull and other things. So, oh, okay. So now so this does happen often then.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, so this wasn't because I was saying, let it happen. They'll learn from it, But now that we're seeing all the data here tonight, we're seeing that this isn't a one-time thing. It happened to you before with the Grayskulls. It probably happened with other toys too. So why the hell are they letting this continue on? Because again, 2 cents. I mean, if it was $10, something that you're like, wow, great price, but still, I got to think about this one. If you there's no reason to see these Masterverse figures, even if you have them already, and not buy them at 2 cents. I mean, just keep them. Maybe you'll lose Merman's accessory one day. You got an extra in the back. Like, it's just, even just the material itself is worth more. Like, what the, are these like 1950? What could you even in 1955 buy a collectible like something for 2 cents? I mean, how far back do we have to go to be like, what was the first G.I. Joe? What was that going for at the time? Like,
no, it's very.
You cannot buy anything for 2 cents unless maybe you go to Bulk Barn and you put 2 like pumpkin seeds in a bag.
Well, what's today?
Yeah.
But food way back when, the especially during the Great Depression, 2 cents could buy.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like right now, I think maybe 25 cents would be the absolute cheapest that you can buy something, and that's
even that doesn't sound realistic.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound realistic.
That's those candy machines at the carnivals or the malls or whatever. Like, 25
where you're basically poisoning yourself. But I mean, like, this is there is some sort of, there's an automation system here. This is definitely something going on with the system. It might be a process. It might just be something where once somebody on the floor sees it and says, "Oh, all right, this needs to be taken down," right? I mean, she stopped me for a reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The young lady who took a look at my receipt, she literally said, something's wrong here. You got to go back. Right? Yeah, she recognized something immediately.
It's like you walking out with 3 TVs. It's like somebody's going to be like, I just got to double check this because this is not common practice.
When they see 2 cents for 3 TVs, they'll be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Right? And at that point, there was no tag there. The actual tag that was there said $59.99.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was I thought I was picking it up because I figured I could take a look and see if it's gone down any further because that's what you do, right? So I scanned it in and I said, "Holy crap!" Right? And I wasn't going to leave the rest of them behind. I was like,
"No, it's 2 cents. You pick it up for 2 cents. It's just do it. Like, it's crazy. It's even if you don't want it, just pick it up, give it to someone. Like, just go here, take this." Like,
they make good gifts.
Yeah.
In my case, they make great giveaways, right? For the channel, right?
There
are a lot of people
go.
who love.
Yeah.
And if you're a customizer, they're great army builders. You can actually make that into a complete.
Yeah, I got my friend taking the Tila heads and he's just putting them on like, just troopers or whatever he's doing. But
right, and that's the thing, right? They can be repurposed for something else, but at the end of the day, they will be loved by somebody, right? And it's just one of those things, right? They were gonna be liquidated anyway. You really got to look like if you're gonna look at it in any way, they were gonna be liquidated anyway. They were gonna be and this is also possible. They're probably going to be just trashed. It does happen. Like, we only have to look as far as Funko. Not even 3 weeks ago.
It's not even Funko. Even just Amazon. They've reported how much waste just from returns that they can't resell because we all think it gets liquidated, but it doesn't. It's especially sometimes from third-party sellers. Sometimes it's more expensive just to do that, so it's cheaper for them just to throw it out. And they've reported a lot of, returns and just throwing stuff in the garbage. Because before the pandemic, what Amazon would do was they would put it up as like a warehouse sale. So you would have the Amazon warehouse find, you'd have your Marvel Legend $29.99 or warehouse deal $20 and it's opened or whatever, right? Now they don't do that after the pandemic because they didn't want people to return their germs and then sell to somebody else. they're like, okay, to just put it in the skids and just it does not go back to the shelf.
Yeah.
And that's a problem because you could just excessively buy stuff, return it for free, and then they're throwing it out. And like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but this is a practice that's been in place for decades.
But
Okay?
it's
Like,
more now. Like it's
yeah,
just
but
because.
the reality is people were shocked at this Funko revelation. The reality is that's a practice that happens all the time. People just don't understand how that works.
You know, at supermarkets, I'm not going to say which names, but you know, their bakery section. I know a girl that works there, and she says every night they take all the stuff, all the bread and everything, and they just throw it in the garbage, and employees are not allowed to take it home or to give it away or whatever.
I brought up the example that if you worked for McDonald's, you would be mortified how much food is actually tossed into the bin at the end of the night, and they're not allowed to give it to homeless people. They're not allowed to take it home. They're not allowed to do any. There are actual laws against it. Believe it or not, it's actually a law. And when you just put it down to its basic role, if somebody gets poisoned because you gave them a sandwich from like 2 hours ago, McDonald's would be liable. They get sued.
Yeah.
Same thing with Loblaws. Same thing with anybody. They would all get sued. There are laws against giving what they would call perished food to people on the street, or even to employees, right? And it's terrible. It's terrible.
So instead we let people starve, and instead of taking a chance that they might eat something that's bad for them. I mean, doesn't that happen even just when you buy food in general? I mean, how many times do you know somebody went to a restaurant and got food poisoning?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell that restaurant, well, you're not allowed to sell that food anymore, we're shutting you down? It's like, no, it's an isolated incident. It's just, yeah, it's liability, of course, but I don't see that the alternative is a better solution. There's a better one, probably, that needs to be explored, but I know it's just easier to say this incident happened, we're going to shut this down for everyone else. You know, it happens at schools. Somebody, you know, is allergic to some new thing. Then no kid, like, you know, one day if a kid's allergic to an apple, then no school will ever be able to carry apples worldwide or province-wide or whatever again. Yeah. It's just easier for them to say, okay, we're just cutting this out completely and we don't have to worry about it or deal with it again.
But again, the politicians or even the companies themselves, right? They want to protect their brand, they want to protect their image, they want to protect whatever, right? And of course, anything that happens, somebody gets poisoned, somebody gets the other thing is a poor homeless person tries to go dumpster diving to try and retrieve those things and then dies in the dumpster. You know, these are the things that they are worried about, and because of that, they just err on the side of caution and said, screw it. It's only costing us at the end of the night, $600 worth of food. That's nothing. We made $10,000 today. Just leave it in there. This is the practice that is just industry wide. So
yeah, but then the homeless person is going to eat garbage instead of like the decent food, leftover food that you're giving them.
I understand,
because the companies don't give a shit about their well-being. They're protecting themselves by doing that. True. Because they're not like, oh, I wouldn't want anybody to get sick. It's it's I don't want to get in trouble. That's exactly. Like, don't eat our food that might get you sick. Eat the garbage that's probably going to get you sick, most likely.
True, but in terms of a legal sense, and in terms of, anyway, we could go around in circles on this, right? But the people in charge have basically said, screw it. We'd like to be nice, or probably not even that. They're probably like, forget that. I don't want to lose any profits. Just close it up, right? Instead of doing something else. They'll be like, oh, you know what? We'll just have a food day where homeless people can come in and we'll cook for them, whatever. The PR ideas. But at the end of the day, all it boils down to is the industry is used to this, right? And this is just something that happens on a norm. So finding what happened to you, Maurizio, and what happened to me, all right, where we found this thing, right? This I'm gonna call it a hiccup, because that's basically what it is. This little blip, right? This does not.
I call it a gift.
The truth of the matter is, it actually does not happen that often, right? But when someone is what's called alert enough, right? When a group of people are alert enough, a group of people recognize something very, very quickly, like yourself, and then somebody has the presence of mind to say, maybe you should check another place and see if it's still happening, right? That's when, you were fortunate enough to actually pick up an amazing boon, and you know what? You shouldn't be ashamed of that.
No, I'm not. There's no shame in it at all. It was fun, and it was again, it wasn't about the money itself, because like, what the hell am I going to do with like 5 Tilas? It's not like people are knocking at my door saying, "Give me one for $35." Like, it's like, no, they're just like, for them, it's like they either, because the thing with Masterverse is that it's a very specific niche, and it's not like Marvel Legends where you can still find somebody who will like a Spider-Man, whether it's for their kid or whatever. With Masterverse, it's like the people who really want it, get it on release date. And then you've got it's such a scale. Then you got your people who really don't care and will wait for like a clearance price or something. But once they have it, like it's like a Tila or Merman, it's so hard to move that, because the people who have it already. And there's not, maybe when this, when or if that season 3 comes out, it'll be hot and in demand again. But right now, it's just, it's like, the new ones come out and then people grab them, and then that's it. And then if they come back again, that's it. Like there might be a small demand for it, but to move it on the open market, on Marketplace or Kijiji, whatever, is Masterverse is so hard to move.
Yeah.
And that's why when I was thinking of seeing what my set is worth and what people would be interested in paying for it, I had to do a lot. Like I couldn't just sell individually, because I know everybody wants She-Ra, Hordak, and my new Shadow Weaver. Yeah. And everybody was saying, can you split the lot up and just give me those 3? And I'm like, no, that's why I made the lot, because I won't be able to move the rest.
That's right.
I'm still giving you a great deal, but I'm sorry, you're going to have to take everything. And then then this happened, and I'm like, Universe is saying, keep your Masterverse. Keep them in box. And so it's a great set. And honestly, it wasn't even crazy expensive to get. Like, I had to pay full price for a few characters, the more rare ones, but they go on sale like all the time.
All the time. All the time. And you know what? The lesson to be learned here is, if anything, is that it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you find something which is too good to be true, okay? If you find something that's too good to be true, take a chance. Because what's the worst that could happen? It happened to me. I took a chance, and it's on video. She stopped me. That young lady just basically said, "Whoa, sir, you got to go back." And I was like,
but "It's okay, because you weren't doing anything."
I wasn't worried about getting in trouble. I was like, my fallback at the end of the day was like, I didn't know. Right? Yeah. That's basically what it would have been if she had actually, if the manager had said something. How did you get this? And I'm like, I don't know. It was on the floor. Right, that would have been my fallback. And what are they? They're not going to arrest you. You didn't do anything illegal.
No,
right?
You didn't.
But if you happen to stumble upon something which is just a miracle, a dream, whatever it is, however you want to phrase it. If you stumble upon something, go for it. Try it. What's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is somebody's going to say, "No, please don't try that again," and then you get walked out of the store. That's the absolute worst that could happen, right? There's one more step over that. It's more like you can't come back here, which they'll never do. That's ridiculous. You didn't do anything, and if they did, you could actually call head office and say, I was treated like a secondhand citizen here. How dare you?" Right? No one is going to do that to you, right? But the idea is, and what I'm gonna say this, and I hope Mauricio, you agree with this. It's like an Easter egg hunt. It was just the thrill of the hunt. Once you start on this journey where you find these things, then you're like, crap, I wonder if I'll ever find another one. Because that's what I said the same thing. I was like, I don't think I'll ever find another one of these. And literally the next week I found Cyclonus. And I was like, holy crap, this is actually a thing. And I look out for these things. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. I do look out for them. And when I stumble upon one of them, I'm like, dang, you know what? I should buy a lottery ticket today. You know what I mean? You feel great.
Yeah, it's fun. And you've got all these figures, and you're like, I would never like have the many figures in my trunk right now at the price I paid, like, ever. Like, it's just, and you're just like, and this is probably never going to happen again. And it's here's the other thing. Let's dial this back a little bit further. Let's dial this back a little bit further. Pre-pandemic, or no, I guess it was just
no, it was it was practically the pandemic. We weren't the lockdowns hadn't started happening yet, but there was cautionary tales: wear masks, do this, do this, do this. Right? I'm going to go ahead and we'll just relate this as another part of the tale. Right?
Mhm.
So back when all that craziness was happening, and I was starting out my channel. This actually came out of nowhere, and I was actually very very shocked. So what was it called? Mega J Retro Transformers Hunt. This was crazy. I think it's $9 Transformers Hunt. Let's see if that actually comes up. $9 Transformers for whatever reason. And I do know I know exactly what happened. What actually ended up happening was what's it called? The Transformers, for whatever reason, Siege was not selling at all. Like nobody was buying these things, and they were just sitting on the shelves for months. And if you look, if you actually look behind me, you know what? Screw it. I'll skip right to the end. Just like what Mauricio said, there was it actually was advertised in the flyer that come Black Friday there would be a $9 Transformers sale. I think it was $9. Let's take a look at this. I woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning on a Black Friday to check out how many of these stores were actually selling these things for $9. And this is back in the day, you know, like this was Black Friday, right? And people were actually up at 6 a.m. in the morning, right? And I came over here. It's listed at $29. You can see that right there, right? Mm-hmm. The display says $29.99.
Yes.
Right. So they're listed $29.99. But I saw on the flyer that this would actually be listed, that it was going to go on sale the next day for $9. So I grabbed a few of these guys, right? Let's see here. I grabbed Prowl. I grabbed RC, or what was it? I grabbed I grabbed Chromia. Where is it here? Yeah, I grabbed the couple. I went to the cash register. I scanned them in. Where is it here? Oh, there. Yeah, sorry. It wasn't $9. It was $14.97, right? Okay. But when you think about this, these things were they were $45 each. So from $35, so from $45 to $15 each. You better damn well believe I was getting whatever gaps in my Transformers collection that I could.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like you, Mauricio, I went to 5 different Walmart locations and basically picked up every single Transformer I didn't have, like Ironhide, like Prowl, like all these guys, like Cog, and I went and I scanned each one of them in, $14.97 each. Like I was losing my mind. I basically, that year I went and I went absolutely bonkers. I went to that day. I went to like 6 or 7 different WalMarts just to try and grab whatever I could. And at the same time, what was it called? Toys R Us was also running a clearance sale for their Transformers. As you can see here, they weren't like these are Voyagers, which are even more expensive, and they were on sale for $20. So it was a crazy time to be, and this was just me getting back into toy collecting. And if we actually
welcome back,
it was ridiculous. This started the whole stupid thing, and I'm just gonna try and find the scene where I actually recap what the hell I did. Where is it here? So yeah, again, the Black Friday sales here are not as good as they are in the US. But I got to tell you, that day I cleaned whatever houses I could because I literally, I'm just trying to find the where I take a look at the back of my trunk. Hold on for a second. Hey Jeffrey.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I just want basically, as you know, tonight's topic is. In a way, it's kind of like therapy for a lot of us because sometimes we find deals, and we talked about this in our last conversation, where sometimes you just got to wait for the clearances, right?
Yeah.
And this is another example of one of those days where I did wait for the clearance, and I went absolutely bonkers, like totally, basically like I'm just trying to find the scene where I just recap what I was doing. Hold on, maybe it's actually in the beginning, I think.
I think this is a good time. I'm gonna tag Jeffrey in the old. There we go, and I'm gonna head out.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Jay,
Yeah.
awesome time. Thank you so much. Let's do this again. And I have one quick question before I go, though.
Sure.
2972 for the Origins Roboto, the Snakeman version. What do you think?
Say that one more time.
Roboto, the orange one, the Origins, the Snakeman wave.
Yeah.
2972 on Amazon.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
But have you seen him around at Walmarts and stuff like that?
I've only ever seen him once, and after that, he was gone the next day.
And what was he retailed at? Do you remember?
The retail was
22, 24,
22. It was 22. So with tax, it would have been basically 26, right? So you're right in the ballpark. That's actually a really good price.
Yeah, he's. I know everybody wants the blue one more, but this might be the last chance of getting him because I missed out on the first one. So we'll see. I'll sleep on it.
Yeah, sleep on it.
All right. A great time. Thanks so much, and take care. All right.
Thank you so much, my brother, and you take care. And I hope the family is doing well and everything. So
awesome. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Good night. Take it easy. Thanks. Huge thanks to Maurizio for coming on tonight, sharing his experience. Jeff, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing tonight?
Man, how are you?
Dude, it's going crazy. It's going nuts. We were just talking about some crazy things that happened over the week. I'll catch you up, but just to bring it back full circle. That was my haul that day.
How long ago was this?
This was 3 years ago, I think. Now, I just got back into collecting, and we had the first Black Friday, first decent Black Friday, and I love Transformers. So when this sale came on, $15 each. We're talking like $45 Transformers here in Canada.
Oh wow!
Right? I went nuts. I went absolutely freaking nuts. Like this is just stupid. Like the amount of Transformers I bought was just absolutely ridiculous. Like,
can you pay that much for one of them now?
Oh my god! Like right now, I think they're these ones. I think they're $45 still, for sure, at least if not more. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I had to buy a Beast Wars figure to get that sideswipe.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And like I said, one of the things that we were talking about before Mauricio left was like, should you feel guilty about finding really, really amazing killer deals? I say no. Right. No. You need to save. But let me give you a caveat on that. So before you got here, Mauricio had recanted a story that he went this past weekend. He was heading over to his parents' house, and he just happened to drop into a Walmart, and he saw these Masterverse figures and a price tag which he could not believe, and I don't think anybody would have believed him unless he took a picture of it. That is what he saw, Jeff. That is what he saw.
2 cents,
brother. Look at that number. It actually says save. This is what's ridiculous. Clearance, save $34.95. Now I'm the first person to say that Americans are so lucky they get great clearance. This is insane. This is pure insanity.
Yeah.
Okay? It's one thing when they're listed at a different price and you happen to find like a mistake somewhere. This actually was a price tag that actually said, no, you can buy this 2 cents.
Wow.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah. Because that Tila I happened to stumble on the Tila maybe just last week.
Yeah.
And, I was just doing my normal price check because they had a sign, Masters Universe for $15, $15.99. But then I took the Sorceress, I took Manny Faces over there. They were ringing it at $22.99. And I was like, So I took Tila over there, and she was $19.99 on the scanner. Then I went up to the register. She's $15.95. I was like,
it kept getting lower and lower.
Right, exactly.
Beautiful, right? Just beautiful. And that's the thing, right? Like, and this is what I was explaining to people here. Not explaining. I was just recanting. When life throws you a bone, you take it. You know what I mean?
Bite.
You take it. if you see something for 2 cents, try it.
Yeah. Take that
was
picture too.
yeah, absolutely. I was explaining how, and this happened to me actually. Believe it or not, this actually happened to me. I was I think I did. Yeah, I was at this Walmart randomly, doing my regular toy hunts, and I just happened to scan in a whole. Again, you do your regular thing. You go and you scan in the prices, right?
Mhm.
So I scanned in Evelyn, right? She came up at 14.97. Right? Great price,
Not
right?
bad. Yeah.
Today anyway. Um, that used to be the regular price. And then I had this Castle Grayskull. I'm like, I wonder how much it is now, because it,
Yeah.
it went up and down and up and down and up and down. So I was like, all right, let's scan in this Castle Grayskull, see what he's at. And you know what? I was like, how am I even going to scan this in? I
Right.
scanned it in, and lo and behold,
Oh,
what happened there?
wow.
What happened there? What is this? Okay, this is an ad. Hold on. Come on, I don't care about your pizza.
Let's say bought pizzas with the rest of the price.
Exactly.
Wow.
That was, and there were 3 on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, there were 3 on the floor.
Cost you a whopping 6 cents.
Oh God, like I was sweating buckets. I was sweating buckets because you
Right.
look at this, right, and literally right there, beginning to sweat. Like this was me trying to nonchalantly, because they're huge, right? They're
Yeah,
massive,
yeah.
massive. They're not. It's not like you can hide them under your shirt or something like that.
No.
These things are freaking massive,
Oh yeah.
right? So here I am trolleying my way to the front, and I said, "This can't be real." Right, so I'm bringing it up to the front. I grabbed the scanner because
Do it that way.
I did that, right? But then I grabbed the scanner, which is at the top of the thingy.
Mhm.
Right? I wand it in, and 2 freaking cents, man.
Wow.
2 freaking cents. You look at the receipt. I bring it out, and I spent because I bought Evelyn, right? But I
Yeah.
spent a whopping 6 cents plus tax on this thing. Like, what the heck? Yeah. But
What is the tax on 2 cents?
I think it's like I think it's a cent, but they rounded it up, right? It's like 50 cents, but they rounded it up. But check this out. The girl at the front wouldn't let me go. She actually stopped me at the door. So here's the thing, and then I was explaining this to everybody here. Just take a chance. If you find something that's unbelievable, try it, right?
Yeah.
I took it to the front. I took it to the front. The young lady stops me, and she's like, "There's a mistake here. You have to go back." And I'm like, and I was like, "Oh, come on, are you serious?" I go back. The manager meets me, and she's like, she looks at me. She says, she looks at the receipt. She looks at me. She says, "You made it to the cash register?" I'm like, "Yeah." Aren't you? And then she said the words. She said the words I never thought anyone would say in that situation. She said, "Aren't you lucky?" And I was like, "No way." I was like, "No way." And she's like, and she sort of just like gave me back my receipt and left. I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit." I was literally like, "Holy shit, I can't believe it." And then I went back to the same young lady, and she's like, "What did the manager say?" She said it was okay. She said, "Oh, okay, I apologize," And I'm like, "No, it's not your fault. It's okay." I just didn't want to, I just wanted to get out of there. Like, it was,
Right.
it was ridiculous, right? And yeah, it was one of the craziest days I'd ever had. And Maurizio had the exact same date a couple of days ago.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, the question, Maurizio did ask, and a lot of people do ask, was it the right thing to do? There must have been an error or something, and I agree, it must have been an error, right? So what is the play there? Like, what is the play? Should you?
I mean, the play is that was the price. I mean, so there's this big conspiracy going on. It's viral for people who do this. So my wife and I, she loves Starbucks, so we go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
A lot. And she realized, say mid-pandemic, hey, I'll just ask for no ice. And it was like, you can fill up a whole thing. And I had a thing of ice and with ice, and then she had another one. She could fill up 2 cups versus the one that I had with ice. So then we started going, hey, no ice or low ice.
Yeah.
And then we found out that Starbucks actually charges you for low ice or no ice here.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I made sure to get a receipt today just so I could see exactly how much they
Oh
charge
my
you an extra
god!
dollar if it's low
What?
ice or no ice. Yep.
Get the fuck out of here! Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I was like, this is absurd. So,
No.
my thing is these companies are going to nickel and dime you for every penny they can get. And if there's opportunity and, it's not like everybody's getting a 2-cent Castle Grayskull. So I don't even feel bad at the roulette wheel of, hey,
Yeah.
happy prices hit your way. And
Yeah.
you happen to get snake eyes. And it's like, yes, great. I can
Yeah.
get it. So.
Absolutely. You know what? That's a great example. I'm gonna pirate that. I'm gonna say, my friend Jeff over at LM55, he had this crazy story, and I'm gonna tell it because you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? If you get a lucky star, you take it, man. You just take
Mhm.
it. Don't question. Don't question the universe, man. The universe sometimes is telling you something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. And you know what? I was admittedly I was kind of like, I wonder if this is okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's there. It's on the floor.
Mhm.
It's there. You got lucky. Don't question it. Just do it.
But you know what I find really crazy is that you'll go to these stores and they'll have like the, for us here in the States, G.I. Joe Classified Series figure be $24.99. You take it to self checkout or you take it to the register, the little price checker, it might be $19.99. And what I had to do was I needed to start taking pictures of the self or the scanner price just in case it was more when I went to the register.
Yeah.
And I have to call customer service over like, hey, this rang up cheaper. Okay. And then some of them would go, well, we have to verify it. Oh, that's the online price. Well, this is your store.
Yeah,
Match
yeah,
your price. So it's like
yeah.
sometimes it's just such a hassle. But then you go around and it's like, well, okay, well, it's cheaper. I'm not going to fight you for something cheaper than the price you have on your stands.
Sometimes you're going to get the good customer service. Sometimes you're going to get the anal customer service. But at the end of the day, try it.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you have to lose? The worst they'll say is, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't." And then you say, "All right, you know what? You just lost the customer," or
Exactly.
whatever you want to say, right?
Exactly.
Whatever you want to say, right? But at the end of the day, it's just we're with today's economy, right? Everyone's losing. Everybody's losing. And you know what? Every now and then you're going to catch a break. You take it. You take that break and you run with it. That's just
Right.
it's just what it is.
It's not like you're going in the store and going, hey, this is an old 2007 Captain America. I'm going to swap it out for this new one. You're not doing that. You're not stealing and doing that.
Yeah.
You're going, you're paying, you're going through the whole process. And if it's cheaper, great.
And the system allows for that, right? The system has allowed for that. And in Mauricio's case, the universe told it. The universe literally told him, "Hey, check it out, 2 cents." Like, well, what are you supposed to say?
No, I'm not going to pay that price. Here's $34.97 for this. I absolutely will not pay anything less.
No, I have integrity, sir.
Right? Yeah,
I have integrity. I have morals.
I feel like the integrity for collectors kind of vanished when they started charging, the same price that we were, for a figure that we paid, the exact same figure using the exact same mold, and it's like $27. Like, wait a second. Or when they decided to charge more for the Toad Marvel Legend 20th figure than they did Cap and Iron Man. Like, well,
it's got a badge. Like what? You keep it in box, and all of a sudden it's worth something more. Like, what,
exactly, right? Like, and then the jaw was being the same price as a regular 6-inch scale Star Wars Black. So you're like, okay, you guys are losing it, and I don't have to go lose it with you all.
Yeah. You know, Mauricio said a very good thing. He said, "You don't have to buy it."
Exactly.
You don't have to. You don't have to buy it. Like it's there, and I like the way it looks, but I don't have to buy. Like that Grogu, the freaking Grogu. Like a year ago, you got the Pram, you got a Mando, you got a freaking little creature, whatever it is, with the
frog,
whatever. Yeah, you got all of that for I guess it would have been $35, right? US. Mm-hmm. Right now they're expecting.
It might have been more than that. It may have been like 45 for that. It was a ripoff.
Maybe, but they're asking you to pay $22.50 for that now. By Grogu,
just for Grogu
by himself, right? With a Pram. It's like, what the hell am I paying? What the hell are you paying for? Like,
yeah, I feel like those kind of deals are the ones where they're just begging you to just wait it out till it's clearance, because it's like, why am I paying this price for? It's not like they added some extra value to it. Just like, yeah, thanks. No, I'll wait till that Target sale or when it hits that magical yellow sticker and we see it on clearance.
That's exactly what seems to be happening. And again, if that's what it takes, sometimes that's what it is. But of course, there are the figures you have to have. I mean, like, and that's the game, right? And that's the game that these companies are playing. And I'm not that I like playing that game, but it is the game, and you've got to make the decision on what is the most important thing for you. But as we illustrated today, when those clearance sales come, you go, you run.
You're right. You'll pause.
You run, my friend. My God.
Mhm.
Like I was explaining that day with the Transformers, I was up at the crack of dawn for that Black Friday sale. I was going everywhere.
Yeah, you put in the work for it.
Yeah, dude. And because it was, the pandemic, things were just starting to close down or whatever. A lot of people, no one was on the roads because they were too scared or whatever. I was like, screw it. I'm
There are
getting my
figures,
figures.
deals to be had.
Screw that. That store's not closed. I'm getting them.
That was the best time to go because no one else was in the stores.
That's the thing. Like, you're not gonna get sick if nobody's out there.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going for it, man. I am going for it. Ain't gonna catch me not saving
Right.
like $45. I'm going for it, bro. I'm going for it. You got to be kidding me. That is. I've always wanted an Ironhide. I've always wanted a Brunt. And freaking.
I just finally got my Studio Series Ironhide. I got my yeah. It's like yes. I just opened up a Shrapnel and Dead End, so I'm very excited to continue to build Minosaur and have one Insecticon short of having the trio now.
Yeah. Bombshell.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great time to be a collector of 80s nostalgia.
Exactly.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely.
I got my Steel Will and Bluegrass and Windhammer, and I'm like, ugh,
so
suck me in.
I just got, and I'm going to do a review on it. By the way, did you watch my video on the Street Fighter figures? I don't know if you watched that one yet.
Yeah, I did watch that one.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you follow my?
I have not seen those Jada toys, but I know from people that have been checking them out, they really like them. I know you were like, yeah, this is great because the Storm collectible figures, they're expensive. But the thing is, those figures are so much fun to like pose around. It's like, boy, these are like, I feel like unlike some other figures where I'm paying a premium price tag, I feel like being able to pose the figure just like they are in the game and have all the accessories kind of makes it worthwhile. But these Jada toy figures, like, okay, this is a great compromise.
Yeah. I cannot do a $90 figure. I'm sorry. Or in some cases, $130 figure. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know what's really bad is when you pay that for the Storm collectible figures and then come their Black Friday sale, it's $45 and $50. It's like, oh,
it happens.
Yeah, but then if you miss out on some, you're like, it's $300.
As a collector, you can't. All of us come to go through that, but as a collector, you eventually start realizing you'll win some and you lose some.
Exactly.
If you're willing to wait for that sale, good on you.
Exactly, but you have to take the consequences if it goes up.
Playing that game can bite you. Playing that game can bite. All of a sudden, they discontinue that figure. And then the sale goes on, and you were not fast enough. Everybody else got them, and you missed out. And then you have nothing. Exactly. Then you got to go to the secondary market, and it's triple the price. So it's a gamble. No matter what, if you're gambling, you are literally gambling, right? But for those figures, you can't go wrong for $35 for $26.
Yeah,
you can't.
They seem really cool.
They are really, really cool. But
the fact that they got Fei Long is like,
he looks freaking amazing.
Yeah,
again, standing for Bruce Lee, anything.
Yeah.
Right? But actually, what I was talking about was the Entertainment Earth message at the end.
Oh yes,
I think you should get on that, bro. I think you should get on that, right? And I'll send you an email. You talk to them, okay? Because
I'm an affiliate with them for a long time.
There you go, brother.
I love working with them. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, but there's a thing. But like you are okay. You're an affiliate, yeah. But you know about the other program, right?
The referral one?
Not the referral one. The
wait.
Well, I guess the referral one was just this recent one, right? But yeah. All right, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, that to me, I just got my 2 figures for this month, and it's Quicksilver and Steelheart.
Nice.
The moment I got them, I opened them up I did a small video unbox, and I gotta tell you, I'm gonna do a review, and I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be as I don't know. I think I'm gonna have some nitpicks. I think I'm gonna have some actual nitpicks, and it worries. It is kind of disappointing because they like, in my opinion, they were sent back. You know what I mean? I think they were sent back because think about it. Your set came first, right? And then this set came after, and that's the controversy. And I'm gonna lean into that because it's something I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I wanted these figures to be good. I really did. And then there's a controversy. It's not shiny. All this crazy stuff, right? It's just nuts. So I'm glad you're enjoying your bluegrass and your steel will. I'm gonna take a look at these guys and see where it lands, because honestly, this is toys, man. Toys.
Super 7, they had a real reputation, and I was very like, I don't want to get into this line, but I'm like, who else is going to do Silverhawks? And it's like, they look cool. And I was really debating between them and the Ultimate G.I. Joe wave. And then I saw how Flint and Lady J turned out. I was like, those are Flint's my favorite Joe. And it's like, well, you can't get him right. And I don't know how far I'm getting into this thing with you guys.
I know, it's rough.
I want to go with Silverhawks.
But you know what? I am, and this is the danger, right? I'm so far into classics, classified. I'm so far into classified, so far. But the moment I got Duke in my hands and Cobra, I was like, what the hell? It's just pissing you off. It was like, oh my god, Sunbow, man, I need these. Oh my god! And this is where like, I'm glad I'm with EE right now. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep rocking these things up and just waiting every month and just keep like knocking 2 figures off every single month, because that's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like it's just absolutely crazy. So, yeah, brother.
Did you read that Saturday morning Adventures version of G.I. Joe?
You know what? It looks great, right? Who is doing it? IDW?
IDW was so good. I mean, if you watched any of the Sunbow G.I. Joe, it's going to be like candy. It's like, this was everything. Like, they had the voices for everybody. I mean, you could hear the voice actors as you're reading the dialogue. It was amazing. And they have it in the trade now. It's awesome.
You know what? I'll probably wait until they finally make they have a trade?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So what is it, like 200 pages? What?
I think it was just 4 issues, and I'm not sure if they had like a super, like extended page count, but it was. I mean, I was really like, this is so.
Even if it's 150 pages, like that, like it's a cartoon. This is a cartoon on pages, right? So it's gonna be great.
It was $13. There's $13 now. I mean, it was so good. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look. I would definitely like to relive something like that, because again, I want new stories too, right? So like,
it felt like a mini series. I mean, it was 4, but it wasn't like the full 5 week. But it was so good because it was like, this is so classic G.I. Joe. Like, they're splitting up and Cobra Commander showing out, and it's just like, yes, everything's perfect.
That's so awesome. One team is in trouble in one section of the world. The other team is in trouble in another section of the world.
Yeah, they were doing the whole traveling the globe. I mean, it's like, this is G.I. Joe.
Flint and Lady J are stuck in a lava pool full of in a tiny little bubble.
Red lava. Where do we go from here? Well, the top, of course. Love it.
As a bunch of kids like, what are they talking about, Dad?
Yeah, you'll find somebody going to spin a lava bubble in time.
It's so great. Man.
I'm a man of action.
I remember watching that scene. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? It must be hot in there.
How did they not get burned when they went in?
That was the thing, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what is this? Is that lava, or is it like,
it's pink goo? Because it definitely wasn't nuclear red lava. So
yeah, it was just like, that is some weird stuff. Like it's and you just got to put your brain, again, as a kid, you just got to put your brain aside. That's the whole point, right? Like,
as an adult, you just put your brain aside and just enjoy it and love it.
You got to. You just got to look at that and it's like, god dang. And then you know what? You look at some of the other things that the animators were doing at the time. It's like, they shrink down the kids. And you're like, how the heck? Where did their bone structure go? Like, well, what's going on here? And then you get, you get the Dial Tone or whatever his name, whoever it was. He grows back to a huge size. And then Lady J, she's like missing her pants, and you're like, what the hell?
Episode.
I grew up. I think I lost my britches. It's like, Jesus. Like, and you look at that as a adult, you're like, what the hell?
How you just go along with it? I just finished rewatching the whole like Sunbow era on DVD. I was like, man. But the thing is, you're like me. You got the gray, so you're hardwired when you see this stuff like, ooh. I could use another card. I could use this 10 figures from watching these 3 episodes. And it's
Oh
just
God, no! I know it's just so bad. It's just so bad. And then you got the figure. You got the figures. Your dream figures, right? The ones who never came out, right? Like they all of a sudden you're like, damn, it would be nice to have an October Guard. Just I don't know.
listen. If we don't get one member of the October Guard through Yojo June or just from hint reveal, I'm gonna be upset.
I mean, we got Big Ben for fuck's sakes. Who the hell is Big Ben? Like,
yeah, Big Ben was way on my list, and I'm not saying he wasn't on the list, but he was way down there. I need Colonel Brekov, Dana, Stormback, Shrag, Horror Show, Dragunov. I mean, the whole crew.
Yeah. It's just too funny, man. Like,
yeah, because I can reenact that G.I. Joe annual too, and have the October Guard versus Cobra.
Oh, just crazy. Legend Odinson says charging extra for ice? Absurd. Absurd, my friend.
It is true.
Oh my God. Just blasphemous. Dave Snelly. They were yuppies paying $13 for kids' Cabbage Patch dolls just to boast that they had paid more for it. That was way, dude. You're going way back. You're going way back. You're
and Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, you're talking about the Christmas, the Christmas War of what 1990, 1980, 82,
85.
Yeah, something like that. And that not nary a parent survived that. Nary a parent. There are stories. Some people lost their limbs. Some people lost their limbs during that Cabbage Patch War. There were.
You're right. It was 82. Gosh, man.
Legend Odinson. I noticed the Ninja Turtles figures based on old molds selling for $10 the other day. I was amazed to see a figure with accessories that are cheap. That cheap. Let me tell you something, okay? Playmates will never, ever, ever stop producing Ninja Turtles. They will keep bringing those freaking classic turtles back every few decades. And people will still keep buying those stupid.
Exactly. That's why.
That's the problem. I'm pretty sure they keep those molds, the original molds, in stasis. Because molds deteriorate over time. I think they actually have somebody polishing them and taking like oil and just making sure that they never rust. Right. I think that's actually what they're doing, because those things have never ever degraded. Like you can see the where it's degrading. But they keep bringing them out every other year. It's really ridiculous. I go for a Vegas Street Fighter figure if they meant. You know what? I hope they get that deep. Because honestly, there are a whole bunch of figures I would love to see. I think Wave 2 is supposed to be
Ken and Chun-Li. I thought
Ken for sure. I think Balrog is maybe, I don't know. But
I thought it was it the two of them? I thought it was Fei Long and Rue for the first wave, and Chun-Li and Ken for the second.
I think Chun-Li's part of the first, isn't she?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chun-Li's part of the first. Is in there right now. But I know Ken is 100% definitely in the second wave, right? So yeah, I'm hoping they really get really deep, and I'm hoping that some of the Grandmasters will show up soon. You used to have one of the old G.I. Joe old ones, yeah. Those days are. You know what? What the hell are they doing? You've asked this question already, Jeff. What the hell are they doing with the O-ring line? They have no clue. They don't know what to do with it.
I think the audience just isn't there. I think what the problem was, when we got your Marvel Legends, it was like, 6-inch figures. I'm older. I'm bigger. I can't fiddle around with these small toys. 6 inches, so much more detail. It's awesome. And we've been waiting for Star Wars to finally make that jump. And then it was like, okay, we got Star Wars, but what about G.I. Joe though? And when we finally got G.I. Joe 6-inch form, we saw that Snake Eyes, was like, this changes everything. And the Classified series was amazing. And then I think everybody was like, well, I've got all the vintage figures I need, and they are with everything that I had in the vintage line in 6-inch form. And that's what we're seeing right now. So I think that's what's going on. It's just, there's no interest now for the O-ring collectors. And it's just like, okay, well, let's see what they do in the Classified series.
But it really kills me. They had this huge push, right? And but why kill the retro line? The retro line was so good. You know what I mean? Like
we're talking about the new one where we have that great Stalker.
Yeah. Like 24 points. It's crazy, right? They're basically just miniature Joes with super articulation. And
I think the problem with it was, for us here, it was those figures were $14 when the Classified series were $20, and it's like, well, I'm gonna get $5 difference. I may as well get more figure. And it was, I think that was a problem. And even now, like they have the Vintage Collection Dark Trooper, and I think that set is on sale. The one with the little chamber, it's on sale for $18. I'm like, how is it 3.75 figure on sale for 18? Like,
I know,
that's
right?
3 figures.
It just seems so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? It just does.
But for whatever reason, the 6-inch figures being taller and more expensive kind of balances it out. I don't know.
Well, there's more plastic. You know, they look better. You know, they don't get me wrong. They do fine with the sculpts right now with the 3 3/4. But you get like there's just so much more detail. I mean, the Black Series. Okay, so with Star Wars, it's a different beast. You know what I mean? Like every Star Wars fan from here to high heaven is has one 3 3/4 inch figure. You know what I mean? Like that's always going to be what it is. So it's always going to be the most popular scale. Also, the vehicles are just that's what it is. I mean, did you see this? Like, have you ever seen that stupid TIE fighter? That thing is.
Which one? You talking about the Black Series one?
Yeah, the Black Series. Have you seen that thing?
I should pull it out from my other closet. It just
where do you put that thing?
It's still in the Target box because I got it. I got it on clearance for $48, and I was like, yes. I don't even care if it's the first order. I'm going to spray paint it black and make it old school classic TIE fighter. But yeah, I don't know where I'm putting it, but I have it. So,
but that's the point too, right? Like, what do you do with this thing? It can't sit on the floor. It's a freaking TIE fighter. You can't put it on the ceiling. It'll fall. Like the weight of it alone will freaking bring it down. Like it is a mad thing, right? And then people are talking about a 6-inch a 6-inch scale AT-AT. Are you out of your mind?
I'm not going to say I wouldn't buy it.
No, I'm not saying that. Out of China, they're talking about a 3 foot or possibly 4 foot Metroplex. People are going crazy. They've shown prototypes. It's freaking ridiculous. This thing is absolutely freaking gigantic size.
Is it a full Autobot City though? I mean,
it's a small child. It's 4 feet tall. Like, oh my god.
Some would argue a 4 foot tall Metroplex is better than a small child.
Probably
less messy and
it'll do whatever you want it to.
You don't have to sit at soccer games endlessly. You just go, hey, Metroplex is here.
It's just crazy. People will pay attention to you all day long. It's absolutely crazy. But what like, oh my god.
Then you can still show pictures. Hey, look, here's my Metroplex.
6-inch scale AT-AT. Where the hell would you put that? Right?
I would have to carve out a whole new wing of the house just so I could have my Hoth set up, and it'd just be a room that's covered in snow and all that spray paint and all that good stuff, just so I could have my AT-ATs walking around. Yeah, after my lone snow speeder.
And then you have exactly. Yeah. But the snow speeder, at least though, even though it was massive, it actually, when you think about it, it's actually pretty dense and compact. It's actually not that bad. It's
really great.
Right?
Cool. I wish
I should have pulled the trigger when I should have pulled the trigger.
Yes, you should have. I was so happy to get that thing.
They'll put it back out. You know that at twice the price, but
at the 50th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back.
It'll be cheap. It'll be cheaper than the secondary market, though, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, because people are talking about like the real crazies. They're talking about a 6-inch flag. I was like, what are you talking about? That is a car.
That's called the driveway.
That is a car. You want a car. That is basically a down payment for a car.
And you don't have to worry about it breaking down on you or oil changes.
Oh no! It's going to be as fragile as hell. It's going to be so fragile. You have no idea. Clint,
I wonder if that would be something that they would try to do with the vintage collection, because I feel like there would be a sweet spot for people who like me. I want the flag, and they could charge $500 for it, and people would buy it for the vintage collection because it's cheaper than online.
It's got to be an O-ring or a retro. It's got to be. There's no other way they can market it. It's got basically just do the flag 1-to-1, make use of better plastics, and get the thing out there. I mean, people are asking for it anyway.
Yeah.
Clint Jorgensen, Jeffrey, I told you last time, Jay and earlier today, that 5 Snake Eyes, movie Baroness, and 1 Akiko is still peg warming at our Walmart.
That's how my Walmarts are. They have nothing. It's such a waste of time to go to my Walmarts nowadays. It's like if I want to find figures in stores, I go to Target, I go to GameStop. and that's it. Because Walmart is a waste of the drive and walking into the toy aisle.
Oh man, you know what? It's not exactly the same thing. Like Canada, I don't know. We're getting pretty good distribution, but the same, like, you know, it's a long game here, right? Like you see the same things over and over and over again, and every season you get something brand new, and once people see it, it's gone. People are fast, man. People are just fast. The far the super line is only $10 a figure and $20 to $30 for the vehicles, and they were all well made for brand new figures. Now when you say super line,
They used talking superpowers.
Oh yeah, the super. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. They look great. They do give you that little nostalgia kick for the superpowers line. But the vehicles aren't really. They're kind of falling short for me. I don't know. They're not exactly. They're in spirit of the original line, but they're not quite there. And I agree with a whole lot of people. What the hell was with that invisible jet? That to me fell short on so many levels. Like it looks like a. It looks like a Harrier which was squashed. You know what I mean? It looks weird. It's just like yeah.
Put her nice and compact in there.
Just crazy. I don't know. I appreciate that, and they're $14 here, and that's great. But I picked up Superman. I'm probably going to pick up Darkseid and Batman, and maybe Wonder Woman. We'll see. But
no Deathstroke.
Maybe we'll see. He doesn't. He looks okay. I found him the other day. He's got his classic colors.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. They did something weird with his body. He doesn't have the Superman buck, and he doesn't have the Batman buck. It actually looks a little bit more like the animated series. And if you're going to start doing things like that, where you mix up the body styles, I don't know. It's for me, it's just kind of weird. You got to pick one. You know what I mean? If you're
commit to one.
Yeah, just you know, be real about it. Randall, you want to see huge? Go online and find the Hot Toys Millennium Falcon built for a custom Death Star landing bay.
I got to track that down now.
Oh my god, that's just. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I do, and that thing is in a room on its own. I'm pretty sure that's actually what that is. I don't. You know, I'm not one to talk. I mean, I've got big things in you know, obviously, you know, I got that beast, I got those beasts down there. You know, like it's all over the place. But at the same time, when you get to the size of the flag, I think you need a museum. I mean, like seriously, that thing is just ridiculous. I can't over King Connections. Like, I don't know how he does it. Again, just like you, he puts it back in storage after he's finished playing with it once. And then it goes back in storage. I mean, what else do you do with these things?
Just go around in the backyard and play with it.
I don't know. I think it's G.I. Joburg or something like that. He actually made a floating flag. It's crazy. If you ever see it, it's nuts.
Wow, I've seen guys take it into a swimming pool and like, wow.
He built an actual keel. He actually built the stupid thing, and he actually took it to. I think it's Australia. He took it to the ocean and actually took it out. I was like, dude, you're nuts. Like, you're absolutely freaking nuts. Like, forget the fact that this thing's worth more than most people can, you know, than most people can afford. He literally just like he drilled into it. Like, he just did whatever he needed to do. He's like, screw it, it's a toy. I gotta play with it. I'm like, hey,
no.
Yeah. Every Joe collector out there is losing their minds.
Right.
It's absolutely nuts. Dave, don't get caught in the tractor beam. What?
The Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon. Okay. I don't know. Whenever I hear tractor beam, I always default to Star Trek. So whenever that happens, I'm always like, tractor beam.
Where was the tractor?
Yes. That's not tractor beam. What are you talking about?
Beam me up.
Oh God, Jeff. Thank you for being here tonight, brother.
Absolutely.
I know it was last minute invitation, but thank you for being here tonight. But while we wind down, what are you working on right now? What's new in Jeffrey's world?
Oh man, so you know it's Yojo June, so I am super hyped up and excited. My wallet is screaming, much like all the voices of Alderaan that were suddenly silenced, because I am so hyped up for this. I mean, they showed off the Arctic Bat today. That looks really cool. The Python Patrol Crimson Guardsman, Tiger Force Dusty, and then they also showed the Televiper with the Trouble Bubble. And then they teased later on, after dropping that June 1st to kick off Yojo June, they showed one last teaser saying, hey, make sure you're here Monday because we're going to show you the HasLab for 2023. So my wallet is clenched up and I am super hyped up. So all through June, I'm talking about Yojo June reveals, and I'm doing my progress report of all these different lines that I collect. It's the halfway point of the year, so I'm going, all right, what's the outlook for Marvel Legends Classified Series, Star Wars Black Series? How have they done in the first 6 months? What are they looking like in the next half of the year? So today we did Marvel Legends, and then continuing on through the rest of the month.
So there's like, since you brought it up, I wasn't going to talk about it again, but now I got a bone to pick. What the hell happened today?
I was watching your live.
What the hell happened today? I know you were, but what the hell happened today? Seriously, go ahead, kick off Yojo June. I love that, right? But why? No early warning, no nothing, right? And look at the results, right? Look at the results.
That's what they want to see.
Yeah, I know that's what they want to see. This didn't even make it to market. This was a Hasbro Pulse members exclusive. This did not even get to the finish to the starting line. He was gone before the public could even sniff him. He was completely gone. And then shortly, like at 250, this guy went the way of the dodo.
Which one? Gone. The Arctic Bat?
Yeah, completely gone. Right, absolutely 100% like gone. Then it took a while, but Dusty finally bowed out. I think at around like 4 or 5 o'clock. Right, so he's gone. Right. And you know what? I don't know if you were laughing at this because I was laughing at this. Obviously, they smartened up at least in a small way, because there's obviously a shit ton of these things, right? How many of these things are there? Well, normally we have a limit of 3, right, Jeff? We have a limit of 3. Guess how?
3 or 2, depending on what they want to charge on that.
Did you stick around to find out what the limit was on this?
Oh yeah, 20.
Brother, what the hell? 20. See,
I can't wait to see all the people who have 20 Trouble Bubbles and 20 Televipers. That's going to be awesome to see. I feel like I'm going to have to stop at 3. I don't feel like the price is bad, though. I feel like that's a pretty solid price. I'm with you, though. If this was at Target, this would be something I would be like, great. I've got my 1 or 2, but I'm 100%. See, now you've backed the HasLab Trouble Bubble set. So we got that fully funded now and all the tiers. But yeah, I feel like that's something that if it was at Target, we would have been able to go, oh, here's that spend $100, get $25 off sale. So, maybe this will make it through to the next Pulse sale, but I think that's really the only problem I have with it, just because there are no discount savings on it.
$1,100. Who the hell would put 20 of these things in their cart? $1,100 freaking dollars, my brother.
It's not doing that all at once. It's okay, let me get 1 this week. Ooh, I'll get 2 more. That's how you get to 20. And it's like, wait, I just spent 20. I got 20 Trouble Bubbles. How did this happen? That's when it's a problem.
I hear you, brother. But seriously, think about that. $1,100. You just dropped $1,100 on these guys. Like,
oh yeah. And Clint's saying you've got to buy an even number. No, you've got to get 3 for each one of those head sculpts.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the stream, right? But I got to tell you though, this is one of those cases where they really are taking a risk on this one. These to me seem like retail numbers. You know what I mean? I think that this is one of those things where I think they went for their minimum quantity order of like 10, like a little bit over their MOQ. Definitely like 20,000 pieces or whatever, because this is ridiculous, right? In terms like these should be sold at retail, right?
I totally agree. I think what we're seeing is how, and I think I mentioned this. I think if they had not done the Tiger Force Ram Cycle and then the Trouble Bubble here, I think we would have been really hyped up. And I don't think this would have hit clearance because people would have been like, I'm just going to keep buying it. But I think going from Ram Cycle hitting to as low as $7 and then the Tiger Force Ram Cycle going on clearance too, it was like, I think they're going to have trouble convincing Target to back another vehicle, even in the small scale of $53. But I think this is one that people would have bought multiples of. I mean, the Tiger Force Ram Cycle, you just need 1. You don't need to have a fleet of motorcycles for the Joes in general, but Cobra needs these so they can go invade the Statue of Liberty and get shot down by Duke.
No, exactly. That is the scene you want, right? You want to build up a Statue of Liberty Lego whatever, right?
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and just have all these freaking bubbles like hanging from the seat.
May not even use that image in the promotional pics for it. It's
Yeah.
like, you guys know what we want with that. So this is why your maximum is 20, and you can only get 5 scrolls or 5 Hydra soldiers. Go get your army builder. So I mean, at least on that front, they're learning, and that's really encouraging because so often it's like, okay, I can only have 5 scrolls, but you can get 20 trouble bubbles. So there you go. I think I'm
what? One of the good things about this too is that history has shown that if they end up sitting on a bunch of these things, they will slowly find their ways to liquidation places. And if your ears to the ground fast enough, you can probably find these things later down the road. If they end up liquidating these things, because they will, that they will, right? So watch for your ollies, watch for your other Burlington co-factories or whatever it is. Just keep an eye on it. A year from now, you just never know. You actually might start seeing these things pop up everywhere.
And this will definitely be one where people, if they start showing up somewhere else, they'll be like, get them all.
Oh God. You're just gonna see a mad rush, It's gonna be crazy. Zamir Mas, excited for Vicron. All I can think about it toy wise right now. He is, he is a really great figure, honestly. Like what they've done with him and all the different looks, I'm very, very happy about. And you know what? Me being me, I'm not really. I don't have that customizer mind. So I was like, damn, I got to get 3 of these things, right? And then somebody put in my chat, they're like, what idiot would buy 3 of these things? Of course, I'm thinking about myself. They're like, what idiot would buy 3 of these things? Just pick up 3 more He-Man, and you have 3 of Vicron 3 times. I'm like,
oh
shit, that's actually, what the hell?
Especially when they're 2 cents.
Exactly. And I was like, God dang, I did not think about that. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
That's the plan.
Blue Jargon, on the trouble bubble, you have to buy an even number, so it's either 2 or 4. You don't have to. I mean, when you think about it, you can get one for the one each for the twins, one for Serpentor. Sorry, one for Dr. Mindbender, and there's an uneven number for you. There's so many different ways, and then you just have you keep building up your your Televiper army. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a win-win on that front because you can have a bunch of Televipers surrounding in the Cobra communications base, so that's perfect. Yeah. So while they're saying, "Hey, Sergeant Slaughter and his rawhides are invading the base," trouble.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you got to get a decal for the. Exactly. Somebody's going to start making the decals.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, and trouble. As far as I can remember, and this is what I'm trying to in my head. I'm like, did Televipers ever even use Trouble Bubble? I thought they were just like communications officers inside the freaking.
No, they used them in the show. They were all over. Trouble Bubble. The Televipers were multifaceted Cobra grunts.
Okay. I always thought they were just nerds, like hanging out in the caves and stuff like that.
They were the geek squad of Cobra.
Oh, they were absolutely the geek squad. And they would always say, "Oh no, here comes the punch! Oh no!"
Right.
What are you thinking, dude? Oh no!
Duck. Look out.
Clint, okay, you sold me on 4. I'm getting 2 his tanks, so 2 trouble bubbles will flank each tank. There you go, bro.
There you go.
There you go. Well, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, you got 4 Televipers all set to do their thing.
Guys, this has been an amazing evening. Thank you, Jeffrey, for coming in. Last minute as always, but you know what? I love it. We gotta plan another one of these because we're just like bouncing ideas off each other. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And of course, one of these days, invite me to yours so we can just
yes,
wreck it up.
Waiting for the next big drop. Yeah. Maybe we'll have you on to talk about this HasLab on Monday.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. So what's your prediction? Because I'm just curious. Are you?
I'm down to 3 now. I'm down to the Mobat, the Mobat, Snowcat, or Dragonfly. I feel like based on these teases, it needs to be bigger than the Dragonfly. I mean, I'm not upset if any one of these. I wouldn't be upset if it's the Dragonfly, the Snowcat, or the Mobat. So I don't really care. But I think based on some of these teases of it needs to counter the hiss and be big enough to hold up some new recruits, I feel like the Snowcat will work, especially since we've got the synergy with Snow Job and we've got the Arctic Bass that are dropping now. It feels like maybe that would be it. But again, I don't care. I mean, it's G.I. Joe Classified Series vehicle. I'm putting my pen here to sign up for it because I'm ready for it.
Any of those vehicles would be amazing. Me personally, though, like I was in my own sort of like dream world. I would love a Havoc. I think a Havoc would be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that much bigger than it's a lot bigger. It's still a lot bigger than a his tank, but just on this length, you know what I mean? It's actually kind of skinny when you think about it in terms of like what it is, and that would just be crazy. Get caught cross country in there, you know what I mean? Get some crazy, and you got the extra. It's a perfect HasLab, right? Because it's two vehicles in one. Right, it's a perfect HasLab, and I think they should go that way.
I think what they're gonna do is, because it seems like they're teasing and Lenny's all but basically saying, "Hey, the Thunder Machine is going to be a HasLab, so get ready." I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna put the Thunder Machine out, then the next year we're gonna see the Havoc, because those are the kind of matching counterpart vehicles for Joe and Cobra. So I think that's where we'll see it, and I think they probably need that time to figure out how to PC Cross Country's outfit. So we'll see how that works out.
That would be interesting. But it's funny you should say that truthfully though, it's funny you should say that the Firefly is not big enough. I mean, I think it's still pretty big. You know,
the Dragonfly is big. It's just it's not going to be able to hold a lot of figures. So they mentioned the tease where we need to get some new recruits, and Wild Bill and Airborne clearly would be the two that would work. When you think about the Dragonfly, those are the two synonymous Joes with it. But I'm kind of thinking that doesn't lend itself to too many other figure tiers as, say, just the Mobat where you get Steeler. You could throw in Breaker with more of a retro theme, give him the beardless look and some bubble gum. You could also throw Clutch in there too. So maybe give him a tan one. So you could throw in a later version with Clutch in his green attire, and maybe put in Heavy Metal just to have another tank driver in the Mobat, or a General Hawk or Colonel Hawk with his basic outfit, since they're going to put Grunt out soon. So you can have Hawk in there and he can leap off of in my live stream, I had the G.I. Joe #1 where Hawk is leaping off the Mobat. So you got that as another tier. And, Hawk, they were talking to directly in these communicating with the Hasbro team. So maybe that's been a big tease that we've been missing all this time. But
no, I totally get it. Yeah. There's so many different options, but I guess we're going to find out in about 4 days. So it's going to be an interesting time. It's a wonderful time for Joe fans as well, for sure. Clint Jorgens says, "Where is Jeffrey on YouTube?"
Lyle's Figure Files. Really, hopefully easy to find. But yeah, LMF Figure Files.
That's right. Definitely head over and give Jeffrey a like and a follow, guys. You won't miss
it.
Wonderful retrospectives and insights in the toy industry. Legend Ozen, both Target and Walmart kind of suck in my area. Usually pretty bare, but Walmart is extra sucky. Everything is locked up now and takes forever to get someone to open it.
Oh man,
true? Is that
locked up on you? That's terrible.
True? That's terrible. I mean, I heard some crazy things about what's going on in certain states, but that's just terrible. That is just so sad. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I found one shelf that was locked up for most of the collectibles in my Walmart. I'm gonna be putting it on a video soon. We'll see what happens. Dave Sanelli, Jeff has a cool Batman. It does look nice. Yeah.
My wife is great at finding all these T-shirts. It's like, oh, I like this. So yeah, she's my T-shirt dealer, and it's like, oh, that's a cool one. So yeah, thank you.
Glenn Jorgensen, whatever the HasLab is, you have to buy an even number. No, I'm not buying more than one of those. You got to be kidding me, dude. You got to be kidding me. The Starry Dark Knight. Yes. Legend Ozen, still holding out hope for Keaton Batman. Scalp prices are nuts.
Are you talking about the mass version?
Yeah, I'm wondering what he means by that. I mean, like, which one? Because there are a bunch of them out right now.
Are you seeing the massless one a lot in your area? Because that's all we see here.
Oh, you seriously? Is it? Are they scalping them already? The movie version? Is it getting that bad? Holy crap!
Well, I don't know if they're scalping. I just think that he might be the more popular one. So we have the unmasked old man sort of like Michael Keaton version, but
he's
definitely
like blonde. He's like blonde.
Yes, it's like the Val Kilmer went through the multiverse and came out as the original Batman.
It's just crazy. M. Ross, Dragonfly is based on the real-life Huey Cobra attack helicopter, which was designed as a tank killer. I did not know that. So hopefully, I guess they have to pay the royalties too then, right? So
I'm not sure. But I feel like the Dragonfly did have stickers with the his tanks it down, and it's certainly one of those complementary vehicles to take out something from Cobra.
On APC, you never know. Is that enough for a HasLab? I don't know.
I was thinking, so we talked about this. Then this is something where they would need to pair it up with something.
Yeah.
But they have stuff like the flak laser cannon, which would be a tow thing. Okay. And then there's another tow vehicle with the missile rack that also came with Colonel Hawk. So you could do that. You could make the jump pad, launch pad as another thing. So they could do really small vehicles to complement it as tiers. And I think that's the way to make that work. But I like the APC because, you know, when I was little, that was one of my earliest Joe vehicles, and I could throw everyone in there.
Yeah.
And everyone take a seat. We're gonna go and take out Cobra.
Yeah, definitely on that level. But I'm just, it's the cool factor too, right? Like it's a.
You can make the canopy cloth. So
yeah.
Shooting out.
That's the thing about, like, you know, could it really take on a his tank? You know what I mean? Like you have to put, as you said, you have to put some support vehicles, you know, on behind it, right? Any sort of like remote, like, you know, what's it called, drones and stuff. You know, like all those other ones that the little ones that used to be sold in the packs and stuff.
Oh yeah, the pack rats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd have to do something along those lines.
The flamethrower, bazooka, and machine gun.
That's right. Definitely have to get some of those in on that, and that would be great if it just like loaded it up on that. I think that would be amazing. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being here tonight, my brother. It's been always a pleasure. And, you know, like let's get together again. You know, this was a lot of fun. And everybody, please head over to LMF Figure Files. Give Jeffrey a like and a follow. Tell him that Jay sent you. Guys, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good night, Jeffrey.
Good night, man. Take care.
Geek Proud.